And good evening, welcome back to another playthrough of Steins Gate Zero, live and exclusive to YouTube. I'm your host Swishbone for the remainder of the evening. For those of you who've never been here before, this is all about playing games live, having fun, doing a few bad jokes, live reactions and live chat. The chat box is open, of course. You want to get your comments in there, and we'll do what we can to get through them during the next few hours that we're going to be live here on stream. For those of you who've been here before, whether it's for the previous parts of Steins Gate Zero, the OG Steins Gate, you were here for all of Danganronpa, all of Persona, Shin Megami Tensei 3, Final Fantasy 7 and a huge amount more. A huge welcome back, because without you guys there is no stream, there is no channel. And a belated happy Christmas to all of you, because of course I've not been back since Christmas Eve. And well, we are now carrying on with the orbital eclipse, and ironically we've literally just come into the new year on this game. Be interested to see what's going to happen for the new year for all of us. All of you out there, of course, get your comments in. I'll do what I can to get through them. And we start with an issue because I'd left my heating on and I was getting very, very boiling, so I've now turned that off. Right, here we go. There was a very brief silence after Kaede and Fubuki left. But then someone's phone rang. And it's not mine, because I just pulled up the phone now and it's not on the list.
Sorry, it's mine.
She took out her phone and checked the screen, then looked at me.
Hey, Akabe, can I access Amadeus right now?
Huh?
The call's from her.
Oh.
それに、あの子がこの状況の中に入ったらどんな反応を示すか。それもいいサンプルになりそうだし、ダメかしら。
And it would make for really good data if I could see how she reacts to a situation like this. Can I?
それは。
Well.
ねえ、マホさん、マホさん。アマデウスって何かな？
Hey, Maho, what's Amadeus?
The next thing I knew, the call from Makise had stopped, and everyone instead was listening to us.
特定の人間の記憶データを内包したアーティフィシャルインテリジェンスよ。
It's an artificial intelligence that incorporates a specific individual's memory data.
アーティフィシャル？
Artificial?
AI のことだにゃ。
An AI, nya?
AI？
AI?
AI とはエンシェントインテリジェンス、つまり古代に失われた大いなる知恵のことなんだにゃ。
She's so cute and adorably dumb at times.
AI stands for Ancient Intelligence. In other words, the great lost wisdom of ages past, nya?
アーティフィシャルインテリジェンスだってば。
It stands for Artificial Intelligence.
自分で考えて学習するように作られたプログラムのことだお。
It's a program that thinks and learns on its own.
でも特定の人の記憶がある AI ってことは、それって誰かのコピーってことじゃね？
But if it incorporates a specific person's memories, doesn't that mean it's a copy of them? Indeed it is, Daru. Indeed it is.
果たしてそれがコピーとなり得るのか。それを現在進行形で検証しているところよ。
What we're trying to find out right now is whether it's a copy or not.
それがアマデウスってわけ？驚いた。そんなもん作ってるなんて。
And that's Amadeus. Wow, I had no idea you were making something like that.
ルカ君わかる？
Luca, do you know what he's talking about?
僕にもさっぱり。
No, I'm afraid I don't.
And remember, of course, Luca, definitely a dude. Even though they've made him look unbelievably effeminate, definitely a dude.
見てもらえば早いんだけど。
It'll be easier just to show you, but...
She glanced over at me.
俺の映らないところでなら。
As long as you don't point the camera toward me.
わかった。
Alright.
She sighed and reached toward the icon on the smartphone with her finger.
スマホで起動できるん？
What? You can run it on the phone?
本体は大学のサーバーにあるんだけどね。簡易的にアクセスできるようにしたの。
It's actually running on a university server. We just made it so you can use this as an access point.
Daru was staring down at the screen with stars in his eyes. And as soon as I heard the voice from her phone...
先輩ったらどうして出てくれな。
Come on, Maho. Why would she pick up... Huh?
おお、すげえ。
Oh, wow!
先輩じゃない？誰ですか？
What? You're not Maho. Who are you?
僕、橋田至。なんなら僕を先輩って呼んでくれてもいいのだぜ。できれば赤く頬を染めながら上目遣いでよろう。
Oh, God. Oh, no. He's going straight for his Iroge game status, isn't he, people? Me. I'm Hashida Ataru. Feel free to call me Ataru if you want. Preferably with your eyes turned upwards and your cheeks slightly reddened.
どうして私が見ず知らずのあなたを先輩なんて呼ばなければならないんです？あなたは一体？
Why would I call you by name when I don't even know you? Who are you anyway?
驚かせて悪かったわね。
Sorry to scare you.
先輩、今の人は？
Oh, Maho. Who is this?
橋田さんといって岡部さんのお友達よ。今日はお正月でしょ？それで岡部さんのラボラトリーでお友達とパーティーをしているの。
His name's Hashida. He's a friend of Akabe's. It's New Year's today, right? So I'm at his lab having a party with his friends.
ああ、あの冷たい岡部さんですか。
Right, Akabe. That cold and caring man.
先輩もあの人との付き合いはほどほどにしておいた方がいいですよ。じゃないといつか捨てられちゃいますから。
You should probably avoid hanging out with him too much. Otherwise, he might abandon you someday.
まあまあ。
Now.
There was ice in her words. She must have been really mad. Well, I guess I could understand
と
why.
いうわけで紹介するわ。彼女が私の後輩、牧瀬クリスの記憶と人格を持つ AI、アマデウスよ。
So anyway, I'll introduce you all. This is Amadeus, an AI with the personality and memories of Makise Kurisu.
牧瀬クリスって。
What? Makise Kurisu?
もしかしてあの？
You mean the Makise Kurisu? The Hashida family's voices rose in unison. That's right. Those two knew about Makise. And they knew what happened to her.
牧瀬クリスさんって確か半年前くらいにラジカンで。
Wasn't Makise Kurisu murdered at the radio building in July? Yeah.
牧瀬クリスさん。この人が。
Makise Kurisu? So this is her.
もしかして皆さん、オリジナルの私のことをご存知なんですね。
Oh, so you all know the original me, do you?
あ、いや、まあ。
Oh, well, yeah, I suppose.
心配しなくても大丈夫ですよ。私、オリジナルの自分に何が起きたか知ってますし。
Don't let it bother you. I know what happened to my original. Yeah, I'm getting the feeling this is going to be a lot more awkward when more and more information comes out. Yeah, this is not going to end well.
あ、そうなん？
Oh, you do? That was easier said than done.
これってゲーム？
Hey, is this a video game?
I seemed to be the only one who didn't get what was going on. But for now, I was glad of that. Her words broke the tension that was building up in the room.
ゲームじゃないわ。私は AI。あなたと同じように自分で考えてお話ししているの。
I'm not a video game. I'm an AI. I talk and think on my own, just like you do.
っていうか、本当の AI なのにゃ。すごすぎるにゃ。
Wait, is this really an AI, Nya? That's amazing, Nia!
すごいのは私を作ってくれた真帆先輩です。
Maho's the one who's amazing. She made me. Everyone was staring in awe at Makase as she answered their questions. I started to regret this. I shouldn't let Makase talk here. I should have made them all remember Makase. I needed to end this conversation as soon as possible.
ヒアジョーさん
Hyajo.
あら、
Huh?
The second I spoke, Maho emitted a small cry of surprise.
どうしたん？
What's wrong?
アマデウスがいきなり消えてしまったの。
Amadeus just disappeared.
アプリが落ちたんじゃね？まあ、そういうことだってあるっしょ。
Maybe the app crashed. That happens sometimes.
そうなんだけど、再起動してもサーバーに繋がらないのよ。
Yeah, but I tried restarting and it couldn't connect to the servers.
サーバーのデータ更新とかは？
Maybe they're doing a server update.
そんな話聞いてないわ。
If so, nobody told me about it.
ここのネット回線は落ちてないみたいやけど。
It looks like I can still get a data connection here, yeah?
Connection? I mean, that's meant to connection, but... Connection? Again, I can pronounce pneumono ultramicroscopic silicoconiosis, but I can't pronounce connection. What is with the way I speak the English language? Seriously, what is with it? Faris had tried and succeeded to connect her own smartphone to the web.
おかしいわね。今までこんなことなかったのに。
That's strange. This has never happened before.
ねえ、岡部さん。あなたの方でも試してみてもらえない？
Hey, Okabe, can you try it on your phone?
いや俺は
No, I don't think Makise likes me. But before I could end my sentence, I heard a crash.
ごめんなさい。
I'm sorry. Kagari had evidently dropped a glass. Little fragments were spread out all over the floor.
お姉ちゃん、大丈夫？顔色悪いよ。
Are you okay? You look pale.
Now she keeps using One-chan, Nai, which is referring to her as a sister. It's interesting to not really try to translate that in terms of how they're actually having the conversation together. I don't know if that kind of ruins the context of the story here, or if they don't feel it translates well into English. I'm just something I've noticed. Tiniest of observations.
ありがとう。ちょっと疲れたのかも。
Yeah, thanks. I'm just a little tired, maybe.
でも平気。ごめんね。すぐに片付けるから。
Oh, but I'm fine. Sorry. I'll clean it up right away.
かがりさんはじっとしてて。僕が片付けますか。
You just stay put, Kagari. I'll clean it up.
It was in the instant that Lucas started to get to the broom and I heard the sound. Huh? Oh, bollocks. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the Black Mask from Batman has intruded. No one goes up against the Black Mask and lives. Seriously, that's a Black Mask cosplay. The only thing missing is the black tie. That's actually Black Mask. Whereas that, I don't know what to say. That's the most basic thug in the world. And as for you, knockoff theatre version of Joker, maybe? Either way, why are they here? Why are they pointing guns at us? Nobody move! Hardman stormed into the room out of nowhere. Nobody knew what was going on.
なんだにゃ。
What, Nia?
They were all wearing strange masks. They were all holding guns. Some of them had assault rifles.
なんなのこれ。何のサプライズ。
What is this? Some kind of surprise?
The sight brought that nightmare back to me. Miyuri's brutal murder, which I'd seen again and again and again and again. I thought I was okay now. I thought everything was over. Was this because of the world line change 2 weeks ago? Miyuri! Quiet! Miyuri's going to die again. Ocarine! I'm scared! I should say quiet! Miyuri! A bang. A black hole on the floor. It's okay. That was just a warning shot. But it was enough to snap everyone out of their terror.
それ本物かよ。
Is that real?
亀さん、僕
Okabe, I... No! Don't do anything to tick them off! They were serious. They'd kill anyone who didn't need without mercy. Suzuha! What was Suzuha doing? It was no good. Naya was clinging to her legs and keeping her from moving. No. Maybe there were just too many of them for her to do anything about it. I had to do something, but my legs were shaking too much for me to manage anything helpful.
とにかくみんな落ち着いてくれ。
Just stay calm, everyone.
そんなこと言われても。
It's not that easy, man.
いいから落ち着いて奴らの言うことを聞くんだ。
Just calm down and do what they want. I'd gone through this more times than I could count, but it was all I could do to speak. But evidently my desperation had gotten through to them, because they stopped panicking, clumped together, and simply waited for the intruder's next move. I heard the sound of heels from behind the armed men, and is this where, of course, we see the return of Kiryu Moeka. A woman's footsteps, coming up the stairs. Was it here? Kiryu Moeka, is it you? Are you going to kill Miyuri again? The one appeared from the door beyond was evidently not Moeka, which is a nice surprise. So I'm expecting it to be the female teacher. June was her name? Oh. No. Just the motorcycle suit. That's disappointing. A woman in black. She wore a skin-tight motorcycle suit and a black helmet. The black visor was pulled down. I couldn't see her face. It had to be her, though. But if it was, what did they want? Last time, it was me, Daru, and Makise. But Makise was gone. Did that mean they were after Maho? Or is this the fake... Is this the fake Yuki? The woman silently looked around the room and then walked over to us and reached out her hand. She grabbed Kagari's arm and yanked her forward. Kagari! They were after Kagari? But why her? No, there was only one reason they'd want her. Did they know, then? The Kagari was from the year 2036. No! Let me go! Kagari struggled. But that woman was stronger than she'd imagined, and she was easily pulled away. No! Save me! Somebody! Kagari! Mayuri, help me! Mayuri and Kagari reached out their hands, but they both grabbed nothing but air. What do I do? What should I do? If I moved, Mayuri would. Everyone would. Did I just have to watch as she was taken away? There was suddenly a scream from near the door. By the time I looked over, the second man was already falling to the floor. Yay! Hey, what the hell's going on here? Brashi! Damn it! Before he could turn his gun around, Tsunoji had grabbed his hand and twisted it upwards. I heard the dull sound of snapping bone. The men seemed unsure of how to handle this sudden intruder. One of the men decided to run towards us. He reached for what looked like the weakest member of our group. Normally, this would have been the right choice. But this time, it was the worst choice he could have made. With speed that you would never imagine from someone so huge, Tsunoji closed the gap between himself and that man in an instant, slamming him into the wall. When they saw him bounce off and hit the floor, the others became deathly pale. And then Suzuha, whose legs were now free of Naya's grasp, moved as well. A thin, muscular leg. The exact opposite of what you'd expect to see from Dara's daughter, lashed upward, straight from the motorcycle suit woman's neck. Oh, yes! Yeah! Show her who's boss, best girl, that's it. The woman blocked with her kick with the arm at the last moment. But when she moved her hand to block, she let go of Kagari. Kagari! I reached out my hand and quickly pulled her close. Okay, More guards? Realizing the tide had turned, the woman leaped out of the lab in an instant, clutching her injured arm. Meanwhile, Avian jumping on the street saying, "Hi, good evening and Merry Christmas to you. Hope you had an absolute cracker. How are you doing?" As I say, interesting opening to say the least. Very interesting. The other attackers followed suit, carrying their injured fellows. As for my Christmas, Avian, it was awesome. Really nice to see the family. Got some really good gifts, including this t-shirt with lots of the characters from Final Fantasy VII on, and many, many, many more shirts of that kind. And in general, a nice, relaxing Christmas for me. I really enjoyed it. In a moment, the chaos was replaced with silence. Okari? Miyuri's quavering voice brought me back to reality. Miyuri, are you okay? Yeah. What about the rest of you? You okay? You're not hurt. Daru, Suzuha, Faraz, Lukako, Nai, Maho, Kagari. Their faces were drained of colour, but none of them seemed hurt. Daddy!
大丈夫。もう大丈夫だ。苗のことはちゃんとお父さんが守ってやるからな。
It's okay. It's okay now. Daddy will keep you safe, Nai. Yeah, I'm not voice acting those child screams. It's not something I'm very good at. And, Avian, glad you like the shirt. I like it too. I've got many more like this. I've got quite a few Final Fantasy shirts this Christmas. Got one Danganronpa one as well. I also got some really weird ones, which are good, but not quite what I expected. It was still nice. Clothes is good. I like clothes. When they saw the Tsunoji family clinging to each other, everyone finally sighed with relief. But still...
おい岡部、説明してもらおうか。あの連中はなんだ？
Hey, Okabe! Tell me what the hell's going on. Who were those people?
いや、それは俺にも。
No, I don't know. I didn't. At first, I thought they were CERN. But if they were, there was no reason for Tsunoji to be here. Tsunoji Yugo was actually FB, the leader of the Akihabara Rounders. Of course, it was possible that someone working for FB, Moika, for example, had acted without his knowledge. Everyone tensed as the door opened again.
ただいまー。飲み物いっぱい買ってきたよ。
We're back! I brought us a lot of drinks!
遅くなってしまってごめんなさい。吹雪ちゃんがあれもこれもって。
Sorry we're late. Fubuki kept adding more stuff to the cart.
あれどうしたのみんな。そんな怖い顔して。
Huh? What happened, guys? You all look so scared.
Bless him.
送っていただいてありがとうございました。
Thanks for taking me home.
Oh, okay. That was a segue and a half. We've gone from a scene with Kaede and Fubuki dealing with the aftermath, and then this creepy music with Lukaku at the shrine. Context, please?
いや、
It's fine. Of course, after that, the New Year's party was cancelled. I knew Miyuri had been really looking forward to it, but none of us were up for partying after that. I told everyone I'd give them an explanation another day. For now, I decided to send them home for safety's sake. Everyone but the Tsunojis walked with me to the station. Those who were taking the train home split up with us there, and the rest came with me to Yanabayashi Shrine. Daru, Suzuha, Lukaku, and Kagari were the only ones left. Now, who's messaged me on Rhine?
Got here safe, Mia! Thank you! Thank you!
Oh, that's so cute. I can't reply to it, unfortunately, but you think you would be able to say acknowledge, thanks for letting me know, but evidently Akabe doesn't work that way. Avian, I still don't understand how they made Lukaku so feminine. It's incredible, isn't it? Remember, definitely a dude.
つけられてなかったか。
Nobody followed us.
大丈夫。ずっと注意してたけど、おかしな気配はなかった。
Don't worry. I watched carefully, but I didn't see anything strange.
そうか。
I see. I hadn't seen anyone suspicious at Akihabara Station either. So is this going to be Mayashi?
Inikibukuro! Tuduru!
Yep, again, couldn't respond to her message either, which is annoying. If they were CERN rounders, I would have expected to see them everywhere. I told the ones who'd taken the train to go straight home and contact me when they got there. Several of them already had. They'd made it home just fine. So this will be another one, which will be Fubuki and Kaede, I'm guessing?
Mayashi made it home fine!
Oh, so Mayuri's not only told him that she's made it to Ikebukuro, she's then told him that she's actually home as well. That's really sweet. That was just on the edge. Just on the edge. And yeah, I agree with you there, Avian. Suzu's style with like the braids pinned at the back, it's kind of like, it's a bit more, almost like Chinese kind of look, isn't it? It's the kind that, what's the character called? Lei Fang from Dead or Alive used to have, with like, you know, the coiled braids. Reminds me a bit of that. I told Miyuri in particular to send me stickers online at regular intervals. And evidently she had. Oh, what's she blushing for? It's cute, but why is she blushing? She'd been doing that, so she was probably okay. But that didn't mean I was out of the woods yet.
やっぱり私が狙われたのかな。
No problems.
So that's Maho.
Do you think they were really after me?
Ah, yes, you've got the lukewarm coffee problem as well, do you, Avian? Oh well. It could be worse. Couldn't it?
おそらくな。
Probably.
連中かがりたんのこと知ってるんかな。
Think they know who Kagami-ten is?
だろうな。
I bet they do. I didn't know if they were with CERN yet, but it was safe to assume that they knew Kagami was from the future, and that's why they'd attacked her.
ごめんね。私のせいでみんなまで危険な目に遭わせてしまって。
I'm sorry. I put you all in danger because of me.
It's an interesting point you raise, Avian, because she's not quite got the same one. She's definitely got the same kind of hairstyle, but I say the eyes don't look right to me. The eyes look different. I also note these extra circle lines here that almost look like a camera lens. I think that's just the art style. I don't think it's something that she's a cyborg, but this is Steins Gate, so anything is possible.
君だけのせいじゃない。
It's not entirely your fault. She was brought here from the future at a young age, and then she went missing. She was another victim of fate, like me.
でも本当にいいんですか？警察に届けなくても。
But are you sure we don't want to go to the police?
すまないが、今はまだ。
I'm sorry, but not yet. Maho and the others had asked me the same thing, but I managed to get them to hold off. Part of the problem was that I didn't think they'd believe us, but the biggest issue was Kagari. If we told them they were after Kagari, we'd have to explain who she was. We couldn't tell them the truth, and even if we did, they wouldn't believe us.
で、これからどうする？
So what now?
とにかく、連中が何者かわからなければ、どうしようもない。
There's nothing we can do until we find out who they are.
じゃあ私たちだけで突き止めるってこと？どうやって？
Then you want us to figure it out by ourselves? How?
それは。
Well, meanwhile, Alistair Chat jumping in, saying hi and how was my Christmas? Good evening, mate. Hi, I'm very well, thank you. My Christmas was awesome. Very nice to see the family, very relaxed, and so far, touching lots of wood, I've been testing constantly negative, so I think I'm in the clear. How was your Christmas and how are you? To be honest, I had no clue. The world was full of groups who would want a functioning time machine, if they knew it existed. Russia, America, China, and even Japan. If I couldn't find out who they were, the same thing was likely to happen again.
方法は明日改めて考えよう。それよりもルカ子、頼みがあるんだが。
I'll come up with something tomorrow. Anyway, Lukaku, I need your help with something.
はい、なんでしょう？
Yes. What is it?
すまないが、今日から鈴葉も一緒にお前のところに泊めてもらってもいいか？
Can Suzuha stay with you too?
Huh?
私がルカ兄さんの家に？
You want me to stay with brother Luca?
ああ。かがりを他で預かってもらうのも考えたんだが、ここの方が人数も多いし、防犯設備も整っている。
Yeah. I thought about sending Kagari somewhere else, but there are more people here and the security's better. Ah, nice one. You're doing well and you got an Alexa Echo Dot for Christmas. I'm not going to be evil and start saying any questions to it. Someone did that at my work to somebody else on a Zoom call, and it was not very well received, shall we say. Some people are immature. They had security systems to keep people from vandalizing the place and robbing the donation boxes. Just taking a quick look around, I could see that there were cameras. And this was Kagari's idea to begin with.
かがりもここの方がいいんだろ
You'd rather stay here too, right, Kagari? Yeah. I could understand that. She was already in an unstable state after losing her memories, even before what happened today.
鈴葉がいてくれればみんな少しは安心できるもちろんルカ子の家族の承認が必要だが
If you're here, everyone will feel safer. Of course, we'll need her parents' permission though.
お父さんはきっと大歓迎だと思います。
I'm sure Dad would love it. That was certainly true.
私も別に構わない。
I don't mind either.
僕も泊まってもいいのだぜ。
I can stay here too if you want. Nope. You're coming with me, Daru. You're not having your legal lolly for the win night. Not happening. In the words of Scorpion, get over here!
兄さんは帰りなさい。
You go home, brother.
しょぶー。
Aww. Watching them talk made me think that things were slowly returning to normal. Lukaku and Kagari's expressions softened a little. Daru's usual antics had come in handy for once.
じゃあ頼んだぞ何かあったらすぐに連絡してくれ
Okay, thanks. Call me right away if something happens, and yeah, I'm trying not to think about the PP on this one, Avian. And I mean that as in shorthand for your comment, not something else.
わかりました。
Understood. Dara and I left Kagari to the two of them and headed back to the lab.
なあ、あれ、本当に起きたことなんだよな。
Hey, that really happened, didn't it?
あ
Yeah.
ドッキリとかじゃなくて、現実なんだよな。
It wasn't some kind of candid camera thing. It was real, wasn't it? Real. Yeah. That was real. I'd experienced it so many times before. Screams and the smell of gunpowder.
どうしたんオカリン
What's wrong, Ocarine?
すまない安心したせいか気分が
Sorry, I must have finally relaxed because I'm not feeling so good. I'd been so focused on seeing everyone home safely that I hadn't had time to think about it. But with that done, the memories came flooding back. The memories of last July.
大丈夫今は僕も一緒だからさなんならちょっと休む
It's okay, I'm with you. Want to take a little rest? I could feel Dara's huge hand rubbing my back. Strangely, it made me feel a little better. Oh, the bromance is on, people. The bromance is back. And the nice piano version of the original music in the background is good. Thanks. I'm okay now.
無理すんなよ
Don't push yourself too hard, man. Yeah. I started to walk toward the lab again, and Daru followed me, worried.
なあオカリン
Hey, Ocarine!
やっぱさこれもタイムマシン関係のことだよな
This has something to do with the time machine, doesn't it?
あ
Yeah.
これもシュタインズゲートの選択とかいうやつ
Is this also that choice of Steins Gate thing? The choice of Steins
あ
Gate.
今思えば痛々しい響きだな
You know, that was a really embarrassing name for it.
オカリン
Ocarine? Was it going to keep following me forever? no matter how much I tried to look away or run. I just wanted to live in peace. Was even that too much to ask now?
オカリン、肩貸してやるよ。
Ocarine, hang on to my shoulder. What?
まだふらついてるじゃん。ほれ。
You're barely walking straight. Here.
大丈夫だよ。
I'm fine.
いいから遠慮すんなって。
Come on, man, just do it.
ダル、
Daru. Huh?
お前キモいぞ。
You're creepy.
最近のまともになったオカリンの方がキモいっつーの。
It's a lot creepier to see you acting like a normal human being, man. Oh, bing, 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 bing. That's fire. Roasted. 9,000 degrees Celsius right there from Daru.
ありがとな。
Thanks.
気にすんな。
Don't worry about it. Oh, we're in charge of Lukaku. Okay. Oh dear. I'll just do a quick save here, because I've not lost any data, I don't think. Urushibara Luka was sad. He'd been sad for a long, long time. It had been a long time since he'd met Akabe Rintaro, become friends, and began to visit the Future Gadget Lab. Hashida Ataru, his classmate Shina Miyuri, and the other lab members all treated him as a friend. That by itself made him happy. He was just an ordinary, shy boy, and they accepted him anyway. He was very grateful for that. But still, he'd always felt like he was being left out. He knew they were hiding something from him. That made him sad. But what made him sadder was that he couldn't bring himself to ask them about it.
寝ないの？
You're not going to sleep?
あまねさんこそまだ起きてたんですね。
What about you, Amane? I didn't think you'd still be awake.
いろいろ考えることがあってね。
I've got a lot to think about.
そうですか。
I see. Even Luca could tell that a lot meant she was thinking about what happened today. The New Year's party. The mysterious men who'd burst into the lab. They were holding guns. Not plastic model guns. Real guns. From Luca's perspective, it was a mystery how they'd even gotten them into Japan. But they were real anyway. They'd had real guns in their hands, and they'd pointed them at him and the others. It hadn't seemed real then, but now the very thought made him shiver. If any one of them had squeezed their index fingers just a little, he, Luca, wouldn't be here right now. Shina Kagari moaned softly in her sleep. She must have been really tired after everything that had happened today. She had gone to sleep almost immediately after she laid down, and her short breaths had soon changed into moans. Don't let Daru hear that. No, 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 no. Don't tell Daru that. Oh god, what the fuck?
めっちゃやだよ。
Mommy, Mommy, don't go, Mommy! What is with that art style? That is creepy AF. I really don't like the art style. That does none of the characters any favours whatsoever. Was she dreaming of her mother?
まゆり、
Mommy! Mommy Miyuri! Huh? Even that didn't surprise Luca much. She'd started calling out that name in her sleep several days ago. Shina Kagari. Shina Mayuri. At first, he thought it was just a coincidence they had the same last name. But... He almost spoke, then stopped. There was so much he wanted to ask, but couldn't. He wanted courage. Just a little. The courage to ask them to tell him. He reached under his pillow and felt something hard. Oh no. I'm hoping it's going to be just the rock, or some kind of protective charm, or even the Upa. I really don't want the game to go in this direction right now. It was a cheap choice sword, the kind you could buy at any store. It's Samidare. But still, it was his treasure. He held the hilt tight. え?
聞いてもいいですか？
Can I ask you something?
何？
What? Suzuha sat up and looked straight at him. He was only barely able to stop himself from looking away. If he did, he wouldn't be able to ask anything. He touched the toy sword once more, and slowly opened his mouth to speak.
あまねさんはどうして岡部さんのことオカリンおじさんって呼ぶんですか？
Amane, why do you call Okabe Uncle Ocarine?
どうしてまゆりちゃんのことまゆ姉さんって呼ぶんですか？
Why
どう
do
し
you
て
call...
フェイリスさんのことルミ姉さんって呼ぶんですか？
I was just about to start speaking and Luca wasn't done. I apologise for cutting in there. I went too soon. I'm too eager. That's my problem. Why do you call me Yuri Big Sis Mayu? Why do you call Ferris Big Sis Rumi?
僕のことルカ兄さんって呼ぶんですか？
Why do you call me Brother Luca?
まゆりママってまゆりちゃんのことですよね。どうしてかがりさんがまゆりママなんて言うんですか？
When she says Mama Mayuri, she's talking about Mayuri, isn't she? Why does she call her that?
私の言えた義理じゃないってことは分かってる。でも知らない方がいいと思う。
I know I shouldn't be saying this, but I think it's better that you don't know.
Best girl, I kinda get the feeling that Luca knows quite a lot now. All you're doing is causing a rift. There comes a point where you've got to stop being stubborn. And I'm one of the worst people in the world for that. Meanwhile, the Straight Queen jumping in saying, finally here, it got busy. Well, was it an exciting end then, or are you still winding down? I don't know. Getting busy, at least it lets the time go fast. I found that in my own line of work.
そうやって僕はまた蚊帳の外なんですか？
Are you just trying to keep me out of everything again?
僕だって知りたいです。僕だって皆さんと同じ悩みを共有したいんです。
I want to know what's going on too. I want to share in what all of you are going through.
ルカ兄さん。
Brother Luca,
教えてもらえませんか？
will you tell me? She looked him straight in the eye for a moment, silently. Luca simply waited.
オカリンおじさんがさ、ルカ兄さんに事情を言わない理由、私なんとなくわかる気がするんだ。
I think I understand the reason why Uncle Ocarine doesn't tell you anything.
And so your break ends 15 minutes before the end of your shift. Well, I've always found one side that strange. I once had a job where I had to work 6 hours, no, I had to work 5 hours, take an hour for lunch and then work for an hour. I used to always say, stop it, I want a more reasonable break. I don't see the point in working such a big block because I'm not going to have any motivation when I get back. That's the way we do it, that's how you're going to do it. You can understand why I quit. I hate management like that.
理由ですか？
The reason why?
ルカ兄さんには純粋にこの世界の人でいてほしいんだよ。
He wants you to stay completely a part of this world.
ルカ兄さんだけは今という時間の存在でいてほしいんだ。
He wants you to be one person who only knows the world as it is right now.
And indeed, yep, Queen, Suzuha taking the stabbing straight in place, isn't she? Pulling no punches whatsoever.
それがオカリンおじさんの救いなんだ。
I think that's what saves him.
僕が救い
I'm what saves him.
ああ、
Yeah.
そんな
But that's...
Say no more, Queen, yeah. If the other people don't follow the rules, it has the knock-on effect for everybody else. Yep, say no more. I've seen that many times. Now that she told him that, he couldn't ask any more questions. Did Akabe Rintaro really think that? He didn't even know. In the end, he would never know anything. And that only made him sadder. The next day, after the attack, I'd arrived just a little before I was supposed to, but the person I was meeting was already there. We didn't do a scene transition then, did we? So I don't know if I should be reading this in Luca's voice or not. We didn't see the little, the person image change. I'm assuming because it's gone in first person, it's Akabe. So I'm taking a punt and I'm going to use that voice for now.
お待たせしましたにゃ。
It's all set, Nyan.
ありがとう。
Thanks, I was right. It didn't show the picture, but I was right.
近くの席にはしばらく誰も座らせないようにするから、思う存分話すといいにゃ。
I'll keep the seats near you empty for a while, so talk as much as you like, Nyan.
助かる。
Thanks. Oh, interesting. I wasn't expecting to arrange a meeting with her. I half expected this to be a place where he could talk with Amadeus in quiet. I'm actually quite surprised by that. I sipped some fresh coffee as I observed the person in front of me. Kiryu Moeka. She was as expressionless as ever, and there was no way to tell what she was thinking.
話
What did you want to talk about?
腕の調子はどうだ？
How's your arm?
腕
My arm?
ああ。もう大丈夫なのか？
Yeah. It's okay now. The girl in the motorcycle suit yesterday, she'd blocked Suzuha's kick with her arm. Suzuha had told me later that her kick had landed pretty hard, and whoever it hit had probably gotten hurt. If that was Moeka...
何を言ってるかわからない。
I don't know what you're talking about.
そうか。
I see. But I still didn't know if Moeka was innocent.
腕を見せてもらってもいいか？
Can I see your arm? Akabe, way too sus. Way too sus. No. What you do is you trip up another patron so they hit her arm or something. You don't just ask her to show it you. 1, you're in a public place. 2, you're going to put her right on the defensive. You're not very good at this.
腕
My arm?
ああ。左の腕の袖をまくってもらいたい。
Yeah. Roll up the arm of your left sleeve, please. Because if you don't, I'm going to off you. Right here, right now. That's how this conversation's coming across here. Akabe sounded like a right arsehole. He sounds no better than the guys that held him up.
どうして
Why?
ダメか？
Is it a problem? Akabe, yeah. It kind of is. And that face shows her going, why am I doing this? Why am I here? And for once, she's right. I can't believe I'm saying it, but she's right. Moeka sighed, as if she were annoyed. She didn't seem upset or worried at all. Now, we got a line message. Who's this from?
Ocarine, big trouble!
Let's find out what's up. What's up?
You remember what happened yesterday, right? So I was just talking with Nai online, and then she told me about her dreams for the future.
Nai's dreams, huh? What were they?
First one, she wants to get good at badminton.
You said first. Does that mean there's a second?
Second, she wants to get good at fighting games.
Hey!
Third,
What?
she wants to decorate the Bronze Street workshop so it looks pretty.
Oh, Akabe's being really over the top of all his cutesy responses, isn't he?
Fourth, she wants a telescope.
Is that a dream?
She says lately she's like looking at the stars.
She must have gotten it from you.
She seems like she's interested in space. Nai's so strong. She's a very strong girl.
You're right.
Oh, Mayushi's okay too.
I gotta say, that's cute. That's a really cute icon. And that made me worried. Why was she so calm? Moeka rolled up her sleeve like I asked her to. Her skin was a deathly pale white. There was nothing else except the fact that she was kicked here. She blocked it with her upper arm, so technically you should have told her to coat off. There were no bruises, and no traces of her trying to hide something with foundation. Of course, there were also no bandages.
ありがとう。しまってくれ。
Thanks. You can put your sleeve back. Moeka tilted her head just a little, and rolled her sleeve back down. The girl in the motorcycle suit wasn't Moeka. This wasn't a big surprise. I'd already assumed that she wasn't. Come to think of it, Moeka knew that Shina Kagari was with us a long time ago. There was no need to attack when so many people were around. Moeka had nothing to do with this. Knowing that for sure was progress. But that left me with a new problem. Who was the woman in the motorcycle suit then? In order to relay Moeka's suspicions, I asked her for a report on her research and told her to keep it up. Then I said goodbye and headed to my next destination. This was my next destination. Yeah, Queen, turning it into a request, that might have helped, but even then it's still a creepy request, isn't it? If someone asked me to roll the sleeve of my arm, I'd be like, who the fuck do you think you are, the cops? Piss off, dickhead. No amount of please or thank yous will change my mind. It took real dedication to open a store like this on the 2nd of January. I took a deep breath, steeled myself, and went inside.
失礼します。
Excuse me.
やっと来やがったか。
You're finally here. He sounded like he was waiting for me.
昨日の説明をしに来たんだろ
You came to explain what happened yesterday, right?
それもあります。
That's part of it. Tenoji had been really pushy about last night, so I told him I'd explain today.
で、昨日のは一体何だったんだ
So, what was all that about yesterday?
その前に一つ確認したいんですが、昨日のあれはあなたの差し金じゃないですよね。
Before we get to that, I want to check something. What happened last night, that wasn't you, was it? Tenoji always looked angry, but now he looked even more pissed off.
俺のそれは一体どういう意味だなんで俺があんな連中をおめんとこにやんなきゃならねえ
Me? What the hell's that supposed to mean? Why would I send those guys after you?
わかりませんか？
You don't know?
わかるわけねえだろんなもん
Of course I don't!
それは
Because I checked to see that Naya was nearby before I
あな
spoke.
たがラウンダーだからですよ。ミスター・フェルディナント・ブラウン。いや、FB と呼んだ方がいいですか？
Because you're a rounder. Mr. Ferdinand Braun. Or should I call you FB? I'm hoping that this is where Braun goes, what the fuck are you on about, you knob? And you think it was that? It looked like the top of the arm to me. It looked like she kind of did a block like that, and the kick had got past it and hit the shoulder there. So she tried to do an L-shaped block and it's got around, but fair enough. Either way, he's presented another reason why it wasn't her, so let's move on. We shall find out. His expression quickly turned blank.
Timmy.
You bastard.
Daddy?
Naya must have sensed a change in her dad's mood, because she turned towards him.
What's wrong?
どうしたって何がだ
What do you mean?
You look so scary for a moment.
そうかお父さんはいつも通りだぞ、ほら
Did I? Her daddy's the same as ever, see?
Yeah.
ほら分かったらいい子だから外でいやそこでテレビでも見てな
So be a good girl and go outside. No, stay there and watch TV, okay?
Okay.
Naya still seemed concerned, but did as she was told and sat in the chair in front of the CRT TV. It played a New Year's comedy program. Oh no! Japanese comedy programs, don't watch them. They are bad. B-A-D. They are rubbish.
やはり娘には知られたくはないんですね。
I figured you wouldn't want your daughter knowing. Tanoji said nothing, but motioned for me to sit in a chair away from her. No. Stay standing. Give yourself as much room as possible to react. The moment you sit down, you make yourself vulnerable. Instead of his usual yelling, his voice was ice cold. I started sweating despite the winter chill. But now that I brought it up, it was too late to do anything about it. I sat down in a small seat, legs tense. I was ready to run at any moment, except because you sat down, you have to spring up and add an extra motion, which means you're going to be knocked on your ass. You should always stay standing. Give yourself the maximum opportunity to use the entire leverage of your body.
おめえ何を言ってやがる
Where the hell did this come from, kid?
ごまかしても無駄です。
You can't talk your way out of it.
ごまかすも何も俺にはおめえが何を言ってるのかさっぱりわからねえな
Talk my way out of it? I really don't know what the hell you're going on about. Which is why you said you bastard? Come on, Sanoji. Be real.
なんだその FB とかなんとかってのは新手の SNS か
What the hell is this FB anyway? Some kind of new SNS? Speaking of which, did get a couple of tips. So SNS, social networking service apparently. Community-oriented websites of varying forms, such as registration-based, invitation only. These sites include functions to make it easier to communicate with others on the internet. And then Ferdinand Braun is Karl Ferdinand Braun, born in 1850, died in 1918, German, winner of the 1909 Nobel Prize in Physics, and invented the Braun tube.
俺は知ってるんです。あなたがセルンのラウンダーだってことを。
I know that you're a CERN rounder. I'm liking the way it's narrowed on his eyes here. I think that's a really cool look. His eyes felt like they were boring a hole in me. They were completely different from the eyes of the ordinary Tanoji I knew. They were the eyes of a killer. A cold killer, who wasn't even trying to hide his murderous intent.
一応聞いてやるがおめえのその情報はどこからのもんだ
I guess it doesn't hurt to ask. Where did you find this out?
話す必要はありません。
I don't need to tell you. Besides, would he really believe him? In another world? Because that's literally the answer there. Yeah, Queen, exactly. Now, if you excuse Daddy, he's going to go over here and rip off Kabe's head. it's definitely the kind of thing you'd expect him to do. It's certainly more threatening than raising the rent. Oh wait, no, scratch that. Akabe fears the rent being raised more than anything. Don't let him intimidate you. You're in control here.
いいから聞かせろや。それくらいの覚悟を決めてここに来たんだろうが。
Come on, tell me. You wouldn't have come here if you weren't ready for this.
話してもどうせあなたは信じない。
You wouldn't believe me even if I did.
そう言わずに茶飲み話としゃれ込もうや。どうせこんな日に客なんか来ねえしな。
Don't be like that. Let's just have a little chat. God knows I'm not getting any customers today. This man worked for CERN. He was a rounder. What those rounders did to me in the other world line, I would never forget that. But Tsunoji probably didn't work for CERN willingly. He probably had his reasons. At least, that's how it had felt in the Alpha world line. Of course, the Beta world line might be different. In this world, he'd never met Hashida Suzu. How much of an effect that had on his life, I didn't know. Tsunoji was staring at me, not moving a muscle. Depending on what I said, he was ready to kill me without a word. That's what his body language seemed to convey. Fine. I'll tell you then. Let's see if you believe it.
世界線な。到底信じられる話じゃねえな。
World lines, huh? I don't believe it.
最初にそう言いましたよ。
That's what I told you when I started.
それに、あなたが信じようが信じまいが関係ない。
And it doesn't matter if you believe it or not.
俺はあなたの正体を知っている。重要なのはそこだけです。
What's important is that I know who you are.
確かにその通りだ。
That's right. He admitted it.
おめえの話はほぼ完璧だ。俺しか知らねえようなことまで知ってやがる。
What you're saying is almost completely accurate. You know things only I'm supposed to know.
正直、薄気味悪いくらいだ。
It's goddamn creepy to be honest. By making Tsunoji admit who he really was, I could assume I'd won the first round of this conversation. Nice quip there, Akabe. Your first round of the conversation with the rounder. This is when things got hard.
セルンの機密保持は絶対だということは知っています。それに、任務に失敗した者だけでなく、達成した者まで処分されるということも。
I know that CERN demands absolute secrecy, and that they kill you not only if you fail in your mission, but if you succeed too. And here's the thing, I agree with you, Queen, assume nothing. The key words that Tsunoji said was almost completely accurate. There is a difference. We're going to find out what it is, I assume. Meanwhile, on the street, Snowbear were asking, hey, how was Christmas? Christmas was awesome, mate. I had a really good time with the fam. And now I'm back here streaming for all of you and enjoying things on the way up to the new year. How was your Christmas? Did you have a good one? CERN had always believed that their rounders died. And then they'd killed Miyuri too.
そこまで知ってんのかよ。だったら。
You know that too. Then he slowly stood up.
しかし、これは任務とは関係ない。
But this has nothing to do with your mission. I barely managed to squeak out the
だっ
words.
てそうです。漏洩したわけじゃない。俺は最初から知っていたに過ぎない。
It's the same with your secrets. There was no leak. I knew him from the start.
だから、処罰の対象にはならない。違いますか？
So there's no need for you to be punished. Am I wrong?
詭弁だな。
Bullshit. Tsunoji's face was right in front of me. His green eyes were boring into me and I couldn't even move.
だが間違っちゃいね
But I guess you're right.
え。別に俺はセルンから IB への5100とやろうを探せとも言われてねえし、おめえらを連れてこいとも言われてねえ。
Sir never told me to look for this IBN 5100 thing. And never told me to bring you to them.
言われてねえことはする必要がねえってことだ。
If they didn't tell me, there's no need for me to do it.
俺がラウンダーだったこともおめえが黙ったりゃ済む。何も困ったことはねえな。
And if you don't tell anyone I'm a rounder, that's the end of it. No problem. Tanoji was looking past me toward Nai, who was still watching television. His eyes changed from those of a beast to those of a parent.
で、おめえの目的は何だ？俺に全て話したってことは何か目的があんだろ。
So, what is it? You told me all this because you want something, right?
実はあなたに頼みたいことがある。
I actually want your help with something. Tanoji silently waited for me to continue.
椎名かがりを昨べ狙われた女性を守ってやってほしい。
I want you to protect Sheena Kagari, the girl that was attacked last night.
あの嬢ちゃんは誰になぜ狙われてる？
Who's after her, and why?
わかりません。
I don't know.
それじゃあそんな話は受けられねえな。
Then I can't do it.
娘を巻き込みたくないからですか？
Because you don't want to involve your daughter.
分かってんじゃねえか。だったら最初からそんな話すんじゃねえよ。
I guess you do know. Then you never should have brought it up.
すでに一度巻き込まれているじゃないですか。昨日のようなことが今後ないとでも。
She's already involved in it, is she? Do you think what happened last night isn't going to happen again?
苗を人質にしてるつもりか？
You're using Nai as a hostage? Oh, no, not me. Not me. The guys who attacked Kagari. They're the ones who are going to do it. You attacked them, protecting Nai. They now know she's valuable to you. I have nothing to do with this. Am I the only one seeing this? Why is he acting like such a pillock?
殺すぞてめえ。
I'll kill you, you little bastard. Stay calm. Lose it here and it's all over.
協力し合おうと言っているんですよ。
I'm saying we should work together.
協力ね。
Work together, huh?
こっちにデメリットしかねえじゃねえか。
There's a lot of downsides to me in that, isn't there?
そんなことないよ。
That's not true!
Suzuha came into the store along with Kagari Sheena, I'm guessing. Yep.
すみません。
Excuse me.
かがり。
Kagari? And yeah, Queen, I suppose it is down to tunnel vision. And again, this is where my neurodiverse, detached approach can actually be useful. I see a lot of other alternatives. It annoys people. You've all seen the Danganronpa streams.
鈴葉、話を聞いてたのか。
Suzuha, you were listening? Suzuha nodded.
例えば、私とかがりをバイトとしてここに置いてもらえれば、目を離さなくてもよくなる。
For instance, if you were to hire Kagari and I to work here, you wouldn't have to leave.
True. It was close to the lab and probably safer. He could protect them while protecting Nai.
おめえらがこのビルから出てく方が手っ取り早いな。そしたら俺やナイが巻き込まれることもなくなる。
It'd be faster for you to get the hell out. Nai and I wouldn't have to worry about anything then.
あなたたち親子は、昨日襲ってきた連中の顔を見ている。それが何を意味するか、わからないわけじゃないはず。
Thank you, best girl! Finally someone brings it up! Someone finally brings up my point!
You two saw the faces of the attackers last night. You know what that means, don't you?
There was a chance they might try to kill everyone who saw their faces.
私は戦闘の経験がある。銃も扱える。あなたも昨日見てたはず。
I've got combat experience. I know how to use a gun. You saw it yesterday.
だからそれなりに役には立てる。
So I can help.
Tanoji rubbed his temples and thought for a moment. But
お父さん。
Daddy!
Nai, who'd been watching TV the whole time, suddenly interrupted.
私よくわかんないけど。
I don't know what's going on.
昨日みたいなことは怖いからもう嫌だな。
But yesterday was scary. I don't want that to happen again.
Yeah, Nae was watching TV. No, she was listening. It's pretty obvious. And as you say, Queen, definitely seems fitting that Suzuha will be the one to point it out. And I'm very happy about that. But you all knew that, didn't you? Be honest.
ない。
Nae.
お父さんが守ってくれてすごく嬉しかったけど、お父さんが私を守るために無茶して怪我するかもって想像したらもっと怖くなった。
Alright, no worries, Queen. Obviously enjoy and catch you soon.
I was really happy when you protected me, but when I thought about you getting hurt, it made me even more scared.
鈴葉お姉ちゃんはすごく強いし、昨日も私のことかばってくれてたよ。
Big Sis Scissorhair is really strong, and she protected me yesterday.
Did Nae understand what we were saying?
私はお姉ちゃんたちと一緒がいいな。
I want to be with them.
Tanoji scratched his head and then spoke brusquely.
言っとくが、バイト代は2人で1人分だからな。
Just so you know, the two of you are splitting the pay.
渋いね。
Cold.
文句があるならいいんだぜ。
If you got a problem with it, then you can find another job.
ありがとうございます、店長さん。
No, thank you, sir.
お父さん。
Daddy!
Nae gave her dad a big hug. This was a good sign. If Tanoji was on our side, I could probably keep Kagari safe.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you.
別におめえのためじゃねえ。苗のためだ。
It ain't for you, it's for Nae. Nae was already happily chattering away to Kagari and Suzuha. As Tanoji watched, his eyes were those of a father again.
ま、こっちはそういうことにしてやっからよ。岡部、おめえは連中が何者なのか突き止めろ。
Anyway, that's how we'll handle it here. Okabe, you find out who those guys were.
じゃねえと対策も打ちようがねえぞ。わかったな。
Otherwise, there's nothing I can do. Got it?
わかりました。
Got it. It was one thing to say it, but honestly, I had no clues at all. I turned to go up the stairs to the lab when Tanoji seemed to remember something.
そうだ。そういやあの連中、妙な番号を口走ってやがったな。
Oh, right. Those guys were calling out some weird number.
番号
Number?
確か、そう。K6205 とかなんとか。
Yeah, I think it was, yeah, K6205. Or something like it. K6205. Sounds like those old American train car numbers. 82517, if for those of you who watch the X-Files, you know what I'm talking about there. Or, as I say, like certain train call signs have that as well. Could also be a flight number, now I think about it. Because often you used to see that, like flight D1806, things like that. That's the immediate thing I'm thinking of, but it's probably not the right answer. K6205. Was it some kind of code?
しかも5を ファイフって発音してやがった。
And the bastards were pronouncing it fife instead of five. Fife? So, K620 Fife, Scotland? I made a joke that they were in Scotland when it was like cold rain in the war line. Are we literally actually going to Scotland? I've seen stranger outcomes, to be fair, but...
どこかの訛りってことですか?
They had some kind of accent, you mean?
そうじゃねえ。フォネティックコードっつってな、軍隊用語だ。
No, that's not it. It's phonetic code. Military jargon. Well, I know that most people use foxtrot for F in phonetic code. I know this because my job's insurance. But phonetic code, basically a method of pronouncing letters used to avoid being misunderstood on wireless channels. Like alpha, beta, Charlie, delta, etc. Or it's alpha, bravo, Charlie, delta even. That's the first four letters. Epsilon, and then one for F, which I mentioned before. Foxtrot. And no, I'm not going to recite the entire phonetic alphabet on stream. You don't want to listen to me do that.
軍隊?
Military. So again, with me mentioning that's the British phonetic alphabet. So that, to be fair, Fife could be the American one, because I've heard them use the word niner for nine on American military channels. So it might be an American term as well now, think about it.
それも西側のな。
And it's a Western code too. Yeah, that leads me to believe it might be an American military code.
Oh, damn you are, Ocarine!
I came straight up to the lab where most of the people who were here yesterday had gathered. Maho was busy with a problem Amadeus was having, and she was the only one who couldn't come.
みんな大丈夫か? あんなことがあったばかりなのに集まって。
You guys all okay getting together like this, after what just happened?
そのあんなことが起きた理由を聞きに来たんですよ。
What just happened is what we're all here to talk about!
それに場所を移すよりも同じ場所の方が安全だって橋田さんが。
And Hashida said it would be safer to meet in the same place instead of moving. To be fair, it's kinda not wrong. The first thing people expect to do when a base is attacked is move to a contingency one and they'll watch for people on the move. They don't really expect people to go back to the same site.
昨日の今日で警戒してるところに来るバカはいないっしょ。それもこんな真っ昼間から。
They're not dumb enough to attack when we've got our guard up. Especially not in the middle of the day.
バラバラでいるよりみんなでいる方が安心です。
It's safer to have everyone together than split up. Maybe they were right. Whoever they were. It was hard to imagine them starting something in Akihabara, Japan, in the middle of the day.
とにかく皆さん無事でよかったです。
I'm just glad you're all safe.
ゆきさん、ありがとう。わざわざ来てくれて。
Thank you for coming, Yuki!
私も昨日の夜、話を聞いて心配だったから。
No, I was really worried after hearing about what happened last night.
Yuki wasn't here during the attack. Are you sure, Akabe? Because she could have been under the motorcycle helmet. We've seen that outcome once before. But she come to see how we were doing.
でも、信じられないです。この日本でそんな恐ろしいことがあるなんて。
I still can't believe something that scary could happen in Japan, though.
日本じゃなくてもあんな経験はなかなかできないよ。
Even outside of Japan, it's not something you'd see every day. That was true. Nobody who lived a normal life would ever see it. That's what normal meant.
岡部さんが来て早々で悪いんですが、私この後バイトがあって。
I hate to be going when you just got here, but I have work after this.
How suspect is that?
ああ、気にしないでくれ。
Sure, don't worry about it.
皆さんの顔が見れて安心しました。でもまだ油断は禁物なので気をつけてください。
I'm happy to see you're all safe, but you still can't let your guard down, so be careful. Ah!
危ない。
Watch out! Yuki almost slipped as she walked past me. I grabbed her arm to hold her up. Ow!
悪い。
Oh, sorry.
いえ、ちょうどここ昨日駅で転んで怪我しちゃって。
Get the gears ticking up here, Akabe.
No, I tripped and hurt my arm there when I was at the station yesterday.
She rubbed the arm I'd grabbed, embarrassed.
その時も何もないところで転んじゃったんですよ。本当ドジで嫌になっちゃいます。
And every time when I trip on nothing at all. I hate being so clumsy.
気をつけてね、ユキさん。
Take care, Yuki!
ありがとう。それじゃあ皆さんもお気をつけて。
Thanks. Okay, everybody. See ya.
The door closed and I could hear her footsteps trail off into the distance. 2 days of work in a row, right after New Year's, huh?
どうしたんオカリン。
What's wrong, Ocarine?
いや、
Nothing. The way she hurt her arm. It was the left arm. The same place the woman in the motorcycle suit had gotten hit. But there was no way.
それじゃあ早速ですけど、オカリンさん。昨日のあの出来事について説明してもらっていいですか？
Alright, Ocarine. Can you tell us what happened yesterday?
Fubuki was a little more chipper than Mayuri and Luca. She and Kaede had gone shopping, so they missed the attack. That was probably why. They were lucky not to have encountered any of the escaping attackers.
そうだな。じゃあまず、
Okay, so first thing. Now, is it just me who would have paid attention to why she tripped? Because if she was able to block an attack that quickly from Suzuha, why would she suddenly stumble here? What's caused her to lose a grip? What's made her lose that sense of touch? Something is not right. I'd have been examining the room. Dara and I had spent hours discussing how much to tell them. After all that, I couldn't just play it off like nothing had happened. The only ones here who knew about the time machine were Daru, Faris, and Mayuri. Was it okay to tell Luca, Fubuki, and Kaede? And then Maho. If she knew that Makise had completed a time machine theory, she'd definitely be interested. In the end, the conclusion I come up with was...
ということなんだ。
So that's what happened.
つまり、かがりさんは記憶を失っている間に何らかの犯罪に巻き込まれたかもしれないってこと？
In other words, you think Kagari may have been involved in some sort of crime when she had amnesia?
おそらくな。
That's my guess.
だったらどうして警察に言わないんですか？
Then why don't we go to the police?
それは、彼女がひどく怯えるんだ。警察のことをね。もしかしたら、警察もその犯罪に関係しているのかもしれない。
Because, she's really scared of the police. It's possible that they could be involved in it too. Yeah, bring back the corrupt cops, it would seem. That's the storyline that is going forward, that one. To be fair, there's been many a corrupt cop involved in many crimes, so I won't say it's a fair assumption, but it's certainly one that's believable.
なんかすっきりしないな。
This all just doesn't feel right.
Of course it doesn't. I was basically telling them that I didn't know anything. But even if I was hiding a lot of the truth, the fact remained that I was mostly correct.
昨日の一件でわかるのは、襲ってきた人たちの狙いはかがりさんだけで、僕たちに手を出すことはないだろうということですよね。
So what we learned last night was that they're after Kagari, and unlikely to hurt us, right?
どうしてそう思うの？
Why do you think so?
あの状況なら、僕らのうち誰かを人質に取ることだってできたはずなんです。
They would have been able to take one of us as a hostage in that situation, if they had wanted to.
それをしようとしなかったということは、あの人たちはあまりことを大きくしたくなかったんだと思います。
Since they didn't, that means they want to try and keep this quiet.
それについては俺と誰も同じ結論になった。
Daru and I reached the same conclusion.
だから俺たちさえおとなしくしていればきっと安全なはずだ。
So that means as long as we don't cause a fuss, we're fine. That was a lie. Just like Suzuha had said earlier, there was a good chance they might come after us because we'd seen their faces. But it wasn't smart to say that and worry
だ
everyone.
から中瀬さんや来島さんはしばらくここに来ない方がいい。
So I don't think it's a good idea for Nakase and Kurishima to come around here for a while.
でもかがりさんはどうするんですか？
But what will you do about Kagari?
それはもう手は打ってやる。ボディーガードをつけた。
I've taken precautions. I gave her a bodyguard.
ボディーガードですか？
A bodyguard?
昨日あの連中を撃退した心強い二人をな。
Two, actually. The two who drove them away last night.
すずさんと店長さんだね。
Suzu and the owner, right?
ああ、あのムキムキおじさん。
Oh, that guy with the huge muscles!
でもそれだとまたいつ襲われるかもしれないって怯え続けることに。
But that means that she's going to have to live in fear that she'll be attacked again.
That was right. Just playing defense wouldn't solve anything.
こっちはこっちで探偵あたりを雇ってかがりが誰に狙われているのか調べるつもりだ。
I'm planning on hiring a detective to see if I can find out who's after Kagari.
ある程度情報が出揃ったら場合によっては警察に話す。
Once I have more information, I may go to the police. Of course, more than half of that was lies again. If I went to the police or a detective, they wouldn't believe me about Kagari being a time traveler. But what was important now was calming everyone down. From there, I'd have to solve things myself. To be honest, I was sick of living in the middle of a conspiracy theory. But it was the only way I could get my everyday life back.
だにゃ。で、オカリン、聞いてるにゃ？
I think, Nia. Hey, Ocarine, are you listening, Nia?
ああ、すまない。何の話だ？
What? Oh, I'm sorry. What were we talking about?
昨日の件、黒木にも伝えておいたにゃ。
I told Kuroki what happened yesterday, Nia.
秋葉界隈で何かおかしな動きがあったら、すぐに連絡が来るってはずにゃ。
If anything weird goes on in Akihabara, he's sure to let us know right away, Nia.
そうか。
I see.
あと、自警団の見回りも強化してもらうにゃ。これでしばらくは変な動きはできないはずにゃ。
Also, I've asked the neighborhood watch to step up their patrols, Nia. Whoever they were, that'll keep them away for a while. Think, Nia?
ありがとう、フェイリス。助かるよ。
Thanks, Ferris. That's a huge help.
お安いご用にゃ。
No problem, Nia.
僕にも何か手伝えることありませんか？
Is there anything I can do?
かがりさんが大変なのに、僕、何もできなくて、岡部さんの力にもなれないなんて、そんなの。
Kagari's in trouble and there's nothing I can do, and I can't help you either. Kabe, it's just...
マユシーも、かがりさんのために何かしたいな。
Mayushi wants to do something for Kagari too.
でも、私たちにできることなんてあるのかな？
But is there anything we can do?
それは。
Well...
Everyone fell silent. Even after all that had happened to them, they still wanted to help. But I couldn't let them be in danger. And then I remembered what Tanoji had said.
K6205
K6205.
なんぞそれ。
What's that?
昨日の連中が口にしていたらしいんだが、俺にも何のことだかわからないんだ。
Supposedly, it's something the attackers yesterday were saying. But I have no idea what it's supposed to mean.
ちょい待ち。今ググってみる。
Hold on, I'll Google it. Yep. Even in the world of Steins Gate, yeah, net slime to search on the internet. Even in Steins Gate in the virtual novels, Google it is the solution. I've heard that so many times. Does anyone know what's going on with this thing? I'll just Google it. Yes. And sometimes what you find when you Google things is very, very surprising. Made that mistake many times. Dario opened the browser and quickly typed it in.
商品の番号とかしか出てこんね。
I'm only seeing product IDs and stuff. Tanoji said they might be military. So it might be a military code. Which meant there was nothing we could do. I was hoping there might be some clue, but...
Koshal.
That's German, Koschel, with the two dots over it. Like Koschel, maybe?
来島さん、今なんて
Kurishima, what did you say?
K ってことはケヘル番号かなって思ったんですけど、関係ないですよね。
No, I was just thinking that K might mean a Koshal number, but that doesn't make any sense, does it?
ケヘル番号って何？
What's a Koschel number?
モーツァルトの曲につけられた番号のことよ。モーツァルトが亡くなった後にケヘルっていう人が時系列に合わせてつけた番号なんだけど。
Now you see, I'd have never have thought of that because I know nothing about classical music. I know nothing about classical music.
It's a numbering system for Mozart's songs. After he died, a man named Kerschel ordered his songs chronologically and gave them all numbers.
But that would make sense, of course, with the name for the alternate name for Amadeus, wouldn't it? It does make sense. It fits in with the theme of the story.
でもさすがのモーツァルトでも6000番台までは存在しないはずですし、そもそも事件とは。
But I don't think even Mozart wrote 6,000 songs, and I don't think it's got anything to do with this.
Mozart. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart.
ごめんなさい、変なこと言っちゃって。
Sorry for bringing up something so weird.
ダル、そのケヘル番号っていうのはいくつまである？
Daru, how high up do those Kerschel numbers go?
最後が626番のレクイエムって書いてある。
It says the last one is 626, a song named Requiem.
モーツァルトが死ぬ間際に書いていた曲ですね。
That's the song Mozart was writing just before he died, right?
Is it just me who's a bit suspicious that Kaede suddenly knows all this about Mozart? I did say I'd like her as an antagonist. I'd still like to be right, but I don't think I am. Why would I want her to be an antagonist? Just something about her gave me that aura, as a surprise I'm the villain kind of aura, if you know what I mean.
Kaede さん詳しいね。
You know a lot about it, Kaede.
ほら、私ピアノやってるから。
You know, I play the piano.
Right, okay. This has got to prove it. Surely the makers of Steins Gate have either been moved on to or been part of Danganronpa. That can't be a coincidence. A Kaede who plays the piano and knows about classical music. That can't be a coincidence. There's no effing way that's a coincidence. Not a chance. Kadaka, Did you play... Are you secretly a fan of Steins Gate? Get in my chat and answer me. Even though you won't be watching my stream and won't be able to do it. But get it anyway. Give me the answer.
それじゃあ計620番はなんていう曲だ？
Then what's K620?
620、620。お、あったあった。マテキって曲みたい。
620. 620. Oh, here it is. It's a song named The Magic Flute. So apparently that was an opera written in 1791. Its commercial number is 620. Mozart commissioned to write this opera for public consumption by the manager of a Viennese opera house, but it's said that both he and the manager were members of the Freemasons, and the lyrics contain many allusions to the Freemason symbols and teachings. The Queen of the Night Aria is its most well-known song. It has also been turned into a movie. Apparently. I never saw it, so I can't comment. I'd heard the name before, at least.
ちょっと見せてくれ。
Let me see. I looked over Dara's shoulder at the screen. He clicked on the heading for the magical flute in Mozart's wiki page. Die Zauberflote. Yep, so, magic flute. The magic flute. K620. Written in 1791. Mozart's last completed opera. It was famous for including numerous examples of Freemason doctrine and symbols.
K6205 つことは5曲目?
So, K6205 is what? The fifth song in the opera? Yep, of course, Freemasons are apparently a secret society founded between the 16th and 17th century. The union of stonemasons with cathedrals, monasteries, palaces, and castles, with branches apparently still existing all over the world, with the organisation having over 6 million members. In conspiracy theories and fiction, it is often depicted as a terrifying secret organisation that rules the world, much like the Illuminati. The fifth song was a quintet called Papageno, the bird catcher, has a padlock placed over his lips, and this is his song begging someone to open the lock. Mozart, Amadeus, Freemasonry, a padlock on his lips.
なんかわかりそう?
Got anything?
いや、そういうわけじゃないんだが。
No, but... Why did this all feel so creepy? And didn't I just talk to somebody about Mozart? Yes, Salieri.
パスワードは見ないで。
Don't look at the password! So, Salieri... D6205, could that be the password? Maho. Maho had used Salieri, Mozart's rifle, as her password to access Amadeus. On its own, that didn't mean anything, but... Come to think of it. Maho said she lost access to Amadeus just before the attack last night, didn't she? Did she ever find out what caused it? I'd have to call her. Or contact her via line. Right, you know, it's just done a quick save. And that tells me this is going to be important. Which would be faster? Ah, so this is where I got to choose. Okay, I can either call or use line. I'll try and use line. There's something I want to ask you. Got some time. I hope she'd pick up soon. Uah! I suddenly got a message that almost made me leap out of my chair. I looked at my screen and saw it was from Maho. Did you see my message and call me?
何？また何かあったの？
What? Was there something else?
いや、そうじゃない。聞きたいことがあるんだ。
No, there was something I wanted to ask you.
手短にお願い。
Make it quick! Her irritation was plain from her voice, which meant that she hadn't solved whatever the problem with Amadeus was.
アマデウスはどうなった？
How are things with Amadeus?
ダメ。
Not good.
システムが落ちてるのか？
The system's down?
違うわ。 アクセスできないのよ。
No, I can't access it. Which meant
何者かがアマデウスのシステムを乗っ取ったのかも。
someone may have taken over the Amadeus system. Taken over? Amadeus? But why?
ごめんなさい、もういいかしら。原因が解明できたらこっちから連絡するわ。
Sorry, but is there anything else? Once I know something, I'll call you.
She hung up on me.
真帆たんなんて
Was that Maho-tan? What did she say?
アマデウスが何者かによって乗っ取られたらしいって。
She said it looks like somebody's taken over Amadeus.
乗っ取りか
Taken it over, huh?
モーツァルトつながりで何か関連があるかと思ったが。
I thought there might be some connection over this Mozart thing, but I couldn't say anything yet. Fragments of these strange incidents were scattered all around me. That's how it felt. If I could pick up all the pieces and connect them, would I find the answer? So, has someone used that password to override Amadeus and made it so that people can't get back into it, and Amadeus's data is now compromised? It makes sense, but at the same time, how did they get that from attacking and grabbing Kagari? Because she didn't say that password, did she? So that doesn't make sense. There's something here that's missing. For example, Amane Yuki's left arm. What did that mean? Huh? Oh, it's Amadeus calling me. Right. Because I think it's been compromised, I'm not going to answer. Just as I was about to put my phone back in my pocket, it rang again. At first I thought that Maho might have forgotten to tell me something, but when I saw the screen, I gasped. What's this?
Oh, Karine! Who's calling?
誰から？
I stared at the screen, unable to answer. The phone kept ringing. What was the meaning of this? Why would Amadeus, who'd been taken over, be calling me? Oh. Go on, I'm curious enough. I'm going to answer it. Screw it. Here we go. I'm changing my mind.
もしもし。
Hello.
助けて。
Help me.
クリス
Makise!
助けて。岡部。
Help me! Okabe!
In that instant, I suddenly felt incredibly dizzy, and everything went black. Have I just triggered a world line change? I have! And we've gone back to the alpha with the beta world line, 0.57. We're back below 1%. I think we're back on the other world line. I think we've gone back onto the alpha world line because it said 0.57 and you had to get past 1% to get to the beta world line. I felt like I was floating up from the bottom of a black pit. My mind slowly began to clear.
ここは
Where am I? I slowly looked around the room. There was no way I could mistake it. This was the Future Gadget Lab. The place I'd been just a moment ago. There was nothing unusual about it. Except for the fact that everyone was missing. They'd been there just a moment ago, but now they were all gone. I looked at the clock. It'd be just about 3 PM when I finished my call with Maho. Only a few minutes had passed. Even if I'd passed out, it was impossible to imagine all of them leaving me here. Which meant...
まさか
No way. I took a slow walk around the room. There were other strange things. Dara's PC, for example. There was a thin layer of dust on the keyboard. As if no one had used it for a while. And then the corner of the room. Normally that was where Mayuri put her bags. The paper bags where she always put the cosplay outfits she was working on. I'd seen them there just a moment ago, but now they were gone. Could this be...
また世界線が変わった。
The world line changed again! But why?
そういえば
Come to think of it. Marcuse's words from before.
Help me! Okabe!
Why would Marcuse say something like that? Did it have something to do with the world line shift? I took the phone out of my pocket and went to start the Amadeus app and then stopped. Now, this is interesting. There's no Amadeus app, but we still have the call, we still have line. So if I'm right, we shifted to the other world line, and Amadeus is not a thing. And if I'm right, we're about to see a potential big reunion.
消えてる。
It's gone. The Amadeus icon was gone from my
どう
phone.
いうことだ。これは
What's going on here? I can't access my phone yet, but there's one thing I want to check, but I've not got control. My mind raced to try and come up with the explanation. But of course, I came up with nothing.
落ち着け。
Calm down.
とにかく状況を確認するんだ。
Just find out what's going on here. Yeah, see, it's not letting me access the phone. So I can't even bring it up to check what I want to check. I needed to calmly find out what this world was like. I was about to walk towards the door to find out when, if I'm right, a big reunion is about to happen. The back of the room. I heard a sound from the back of the development room, which no one ever used anymore. Someone was there. Who? Daru? Miyuri? I slowly approached. I almost couldn't breathe. I never forgot. I'd never forgotten her. The girl standing there was Marcuse Kurisu. Told you! Huge reunion! By answering the Amadeus call, Mayuri is gone. Marcuse is back. End of chapter. There we go. Antinomic Jewel or something. We're on a new world line. I kind of expected that to be a possibility, but I did not expect it to come from that. Marcuse Kurisu was looking down at something. This is impossible! Marcuse couldn't be here. Because she was dead. Was I seeing things? Was my desire to see her making me hallucinate? But it seemed far too realistic to be a hallucination. Still, it felt like if I spoke a word, she'd disappear. I couldn't say a thing. What was she staring at? Without even moving a muscle. She was so still that I thought she must be a hallucination after all. But then... she finally exhaled a little and slowly turned around.
Okabe!
My throat was dry, and I couldn't speak.
来てたなら来てたって言いなさいよ。黙って立ってたらびっくりするじゃない。
If you were standing there, you should have said something! You scared me!
明けましておめでとう。
Happy New Year's.
それにしても珍しいわね。あんたがここに顔出すなんて。
Anyway, it's not often I see you come by anymore.
岡部
Okay, babe.
クリス
Makise. Huh?
クリスなんだ
It's really you, isn't it?
新年早々何言ってるのよ。大丈夫？何か悪いものでも食べた？
What the heck kind of way to start off the new year is that? Are you okay? Did you eat something bad? Even her slightly peeved expression. Makise.
何？
What? And the gentle flash you sometimes saw in her eyes. And this...
どうしたのよ。本当に大丈夫な？
What's wrong? Are you really okay? Even her warmth.
あんた急に何を？
Hey, what are you doing?
Oh, that's actually really cute. That's actually a really cute image. For once, the overly cutesy style that they've gone for certain scenes actually does work. I actually really like that. She's completely like, why are you here? Why are you wearing black? And why the fuck are you holding me? What are you doing?
It wasn't a hallucination. Or an artificial intelligence on a screen. It was the real Makise Kurisu.
岡部？
Okay, babe. The real, live Makise Kurisu. Yeah, I'm not voice acting that. I can't do that. It's something I can't do. But evidently now, if we get an ending from this, we need to reload and ignore the Amadeus call. Because that'll be another ending, it must be. That is what triggered this. She said help me, boom, with crossword lines.
ねえ、岡部、お願い話して。
Okay, babe, please. Let me go.
すまないでももう少しだけこのまま
I'm sorry. But let me stay. Like this just a little bit longer.
あんたもしかして泣いてるの？
Are you crying? I realized for the first time that my cheeks were wet. Oh, bless. And all the Makise fans are like, finally at last. And I'm just like, best girl's not here. That's a really cute scene. I felt her soft hands on my back.
心配しないで。もう平気だから。
Don't worry. It's okay now.
クリス
Makise,
大丈夫よ。大丈夫だから。
it's okay. It's okay. She whispered to me in a soft voice and patted me on the back. And wrapped her arms around me. Like a kind mother holding a child.
すまなかった
I'm sorry. I finally calmed myself down. She was still there. She still existed. Now that I'd calmed down, I realized what that meant. Yep, here we go. He's realized that Mayuri is dead again. Ooh, ouch. And yeah, Avian, just a simple oh in the comments, and it deserves it. It was a really cute scene.
気にしないで。
No, don't worry about it.
無理もないわよ。私だって時々あるもの。そういうこと。
That happens to me too, sometimes.
そういうこと
That?
思い出したんでしょ？まゆりのこと。
You were thinking about Mayuri, weren't you? That's right. Makise was here, which meant this was the Alpha world line. The world without Mayuri. The world where Mayuri died. Some small part of me had wished that this was the world beyond Steins Gate. That it was a new future, which someone else had opened for me. But of course, that was too good to be true. There was no way for me to know what had happened. But I must have made my choice. To give up on Mayuri. There was the future where she was gone. Confronted once more with the reality of Mayuri's death, my heart felt like it was about to burst. Mayuri! How had she died?
Okabe?
Okabe? Did they push her in front of a train? Did they shoot her? Or...
落ち着いて。
Calm down! Makise's tiny hand wrapped around mine.
ほら、深く息を吐いて。
Okay, come on, deep breaths. Little by little, my racing heart began to calm down.
ごめん、私が余計なこと言っちゃったから。
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said anything.
いや、そうじゃないんだ。そうじゃ。
No, it's not. That. It's not.
薬飲む？水持ってくる。
Are you going to take something? I'll bring you some water. I rummaged through my pocket and found a small box of pills. It was the same anxiety medication that I'd already been taking. Even in this world, I was still on the same drugs. I looked around the room while Makise got me water from the tap.
ねえ、岡部。どうして？
Hey, Okabe, why?
どうしてここに来たの？
Why did you come back here? What?
ここにはずっと寄りつかなかったでしょ？橋田も来なくなったし。
You haven't come here for a long time, you know. Even Hashida stopped coming.
ダルも。
Daru, too?
ええ。
Yeah. The room was awfully clean then. I took a closer look and saw that there were a few places, like Daru's PC, that were covered in dust, but the rest seemed to have been regularly cleaned.
お前はクリスは来ていたのか？
You, Makise, you've been coming here?
時々ね。じゃないと寂しいだろうと思って。
Sometimes. They'd be sad otherwise. I didn't have to ask who they were. Mayuri loved this place. She loved the Future Gadget Lab. She loved the time she spent with all the lab members here.
ごめんね。
I'm sorry.
どうして謝る？
Why are you apologizing? Because... I waited, but no answer ever came. What was she apologizing for? For talking about Mayuri? For making me remember? Or for making me choose?
クリス。
Makise,
何？
lad,
いや、なんでもない。
no, nothing. Okay. If I said something, she'd answer me right away. I could reach out and touch her, That alone brought me to the verge of tears. If I just stayed here, like this... What was I thinking? I'd given up on everything and left her to die. And still, I was happy to be back here in this world line, with Makise. As I was sad over losing Miyuri, part of me was thinking I wanted to stay here. Even though I didn't have the right. If there was a god in this world, he must be a cruel, twisted being. Why was he doing this to me again? Was what I'd done that wrong? I'd already made my choice once. There was no way to save the world. There was no way to save Makise. But... with Makise in front of me, I was already starting to waver. Should I go back to the Beta World line? Should I send the D-mail? Huh? The D-mail?
そういえば電話レンジカッコ仮はどうした？
Hey, what happened to the phone wave?
どうってあんたが破棄させたんでしょ？忘れたの？
What? You destroyed it. Did you forget?
そうだったな。
Yeah, that's right. The phone wave no longer existed, it seemed. Of course it didn't. Its mere existence had made us a target of CERN. But without it, I couldn't leave this world line on my own. So even if I did stay here in this world line, it wouldn't be my responsibility. It wasn't my fault. And it wasn't something I'd wanted. Which meant...
ねえ岡部
Hey, Okabe. Huh?
悪いんだけど何か飲むもの買ってきてくれない？
Sorry. Could you go get something for me to drink?
飲むもの
Something to drink. Get the Dr. P's out. Now you know why you're back in this world line. You want the cold Dr. P.
ちょっと喉乾いちゃったのよね。できれば温かいものがいいわ。
I'm thirsty, you know. Something warm, if you could.
Oh, well, so much for that. She doesn't want the Dr. P. You would never want to drink Dr. Pepper warm. It's not nice.
インスタントのコーヒーぐらいなら作るぞ。
I can make instant coffee, if you want. Wasn't that what Karisu had always made me do? 2 cubes of sugar, no milk.
コーヒー切らしちゃってるのよ。
We're out of coffee.
わかった。
Okay. Yeah. I should go. I want to get outside and think things through.
ミルクと砂糖の入った甘いやつね。
Something sweet, with milk and sugar.
ミルクは入れないんじゃなかったのか。
I thought you didn't put milk in your coffee.
寒い日には思いっきり甘ったるいものが飲みたくなる。
On cold days, I always want something sweet and creamy.
了解だ。
Roger. I stood up and headed for the door, but turned around halfway.
何？
What?
いや、
No. It felt like if I took my eyes off her, she'd disappear. But that was far too embarrassing to say.
岡部、
Okabe. Huh?
しっかりね。
Hang in there.
子供じゃないんだ。お使いぐらいできる。
I'm not a kid. I can run a simple errand.
そうね。
Yeah, you're right.
いってらっしゃい。
Bye.
One second, need to quickly stretch my legs. Won't be a moment. People, do apologise. So for me, it's a question of like, if accepting Amadeus's call is what transfer does to the Alpha World line, does that mean that somehow Amadeus got access to the data to make the time machine and cause the change?
I can't think of any other thing that really explains it. But then again, we never really found out what changed them into the War World line and changed them back. But Makise Amadeus turned up at the end of that one as well, let's not forget. So that's definitely the key here. Whew. My whole body relaxed the second I stepped outside of the lab. Evidently, meeting the living Makise had made me really tense. I didn't know how to talk to her or what to say anymore. Even though I'd spoken to Makise like it was the most normal thing in the world. I still couldn't believe it though. Was this really the Alpha World line? No. If Makise was here, it had to be. And yet, I still can't access my phone. But then, why? Who had caused the world line change and how? Save me! Okabe! It's I wasn't going to answer that call, let's not forget. I was going to let it bounce. So it's interesting that I've triggered this world line by flip-flopping. That call from Makise. Was that what triggered it, somehow? No, I should stop thinking about it. If someone else had caused it somehow, I shouldn't get involved anymore. I didn't want to. I didn't want to overthrow the structure of the world anymore. I just wanted to live in peace. In a universe with no world lines or attractor fields. So go on then, let's see what the tip for attractor field is. Yeah, a worldwide convergence zone, standard accepted model for quantum physics in 2036, after the many worlds interpretation and the Copenhagen interpretation. It was a deterministic interpretation, where many world lines gather into a world branch called an attractor field. This attractor field is simply a zone in which all world lines will eventually reach the same end result. Major splits in the world line at the attractor field level are called world line trunks. One pre-2010 example of world line trunk is the year 2000. I'd stopped letting the whims of fate rule my life. Curiously, I've gone back to playing Persona 5 Royal with the potential that Strikers might be on next month's PS Plus. I've just done one at the Palaces where the song is called Whims of Fate. There's a coincidence for you. There was nothing left that I could do. Suddenly, something seemed very wrong. Makise's words a moment ago. What had they meant? Okay, hang in there. Yep, hang in there. She couldn't mean to. I turned around and rushed back into the lab. Makise! What?
クリス、お前、それ。
Makise, you, that.
参ったわね。見つかっちゃったか。
Too bad. I guess you found me. She was just where I'd seen her the first time, standing and looking toward the back of the development room. In the depths of the darkness, in a spot that just a moment ago had been covered by a cloth, I saw an old microwave with its door taken off. The phone wave. Name subject to change. Future gadget number 8. It was the gadget that had changed my fate. No, the fate of the world.
どうして？それは破棄したんじゃなかったのか？
How? Didn't I destroy it?
ええ、破棄したわ。
Yes, you did.
これは私が新しく作り直したの。言ってみれば電話レンジ買いね。
This is a new one I made. You could call it the phone wave custom.
正しくはカッコ仮がつくんだった。それなら電話レンジカッコ仮買いになる。
Or maybe the real wasn't the real name a little longer? Maybe it should be the phone wave, name subject to change, custom. Indeed, and welcome back, Queen. What a time to come back. Yes, we found ourselves back in the Alpha World line. And Akabe's just figured out, as most was probably called already, another phone wave has been made here.
名前なんてどうだっていい。 作り直したって。どうしてそんなことを。
The name doesn't matter! You remade it. Why?
過去にメールを送るためよ。
To send a message to the
メ
past.
ールを送って世界線を変えるの。
I'm going to send a message and change the world line.
あんたにとっては戻すって言った方がいいのかもね。世界線。
No. Maybe it would be better to say fix rather than
こ
change.
れ完成したのはね、実は1ヶ月以上前なの。
I actually finished this over a month ago.
それからはひたすらここに立って送るべきか送らないでおくべきか悩み続けてた。
And since then, I've just been standing here, wondering whether or not I should send a message.
それがまさかあんたの方から来るなんてね。
I certainly didn't expect to see you to come see me though.
お前、何を。
What are you?
ねえ岡部、
Tell me, Okabe.
あんたついさっき別の世界線から来たでしょ。
You just came from another world line, didn't you?
それもベータ世界線から。違う？
And it was probably the Beta world line. Am I wrong?
気づいてたのか。
You could tell.
そうでなきゃあんたがあんなことするはずないもの。
You'd never do something like that otherwise.
あんなこと。
Something like what? Grab her, start hugging her, start crying against her shoulder? I'm guessing here. I might be wrong.
だからあんな風に私を抱きしめたりとかそういうことよ。
Well, the way you hugged me, you know. As for the chapter, that's a good question. If I quickly do a save on another line here, I'll save it here. Yep, there we are. So if I go back to load again. Anatomic Jewel. I knew it was something Jewel, but I couldn't remember what the first one was. We're on Anatomic Jewel now. It was all so wonderful. The way her cheeks reddened in embarrassment as she looked away. The way she pursed her lips. The way she fiddled with the ends of her hair. Everything was just so wonderful. I realized it again. I was in love with her.
さらに言えばその世界線の変動は誰か別の人の手によるものであんたが好き好んで変動させたわけじゃない。
And what's more, someone else caused the world line change. You didn't do it voluntarily.
当たってる？
Am I right?
すべてを見通しというわけか。
So you know everything then?
どれだけあんたのこと見てきたと思ってるのよ。
Do you realize how much time I spent watching you? Huh?
ああいや違うからな。見てきたって別にそういう意味じゃなくて、あいや違わなくもないけど。
No, it's not like that. I don't mean watching you. Well, I mean... I do mean it in that sense, but...
とにかく
Anyway... She took a deep breath and looked up at me
あん
again.
たがベータ世界線から来たってことはあんたは過去に一度その世界を選択したってことでしょ。
If you came from that beta world line, then you chose that world once before. Right?
Yeah, that was mistranslated. They meant to say it means you chose it, but they left the it means out. And it started reading a bit too late to realise, so... That was not a good line reading, that I apologise, people.
She was so far beyond what I could hope to be. In those brief moments, she discovered all that. She was right about everything. But even so, I couldn't let her know. Admitting that would mean admitting that I'd left her to die. There was no way I could do that.
すまない。
I'm sorry. In the end, that was all I said. But that was an admission, all the same. But instead of looking sad, she...
謝るなバカ。あんたが自分で決めたことでしょうが。だったら自分の選択に自信を持ちなさい。
Don't apologize, dummy. It was your choice, right? So have confidence in it. She tried to cheer me up. That's right. Makise was right. I was the one who'd chosen the beta world line. But
それにね、あんたは多分間違ってなかった。
and you know, I don't think you were wrong.
さっき来たばっかりのあんたは知らないだろうけど、この半年間、あんたはずっと自分を責めてた。
You just got here, so you wouldn't know. But for the last several months, you've done nothing but blame yourself.
そんな素振り、私には決して見せようとしなかったけど。
Not that you'd ever let me see it. It was the same. It was the same as what I'd gone through. It was the same as the beta world line.
どうしてあげることもできなかった。
But there was nothing I could do.
だって、あんたの苦しみは私のせいだから。
Because your pain was because of me.
私を生かすために、あんたは苦しんでたんだから。
You'd suffered so much to let me live.
でもね、それも今日で終わり。
But that ends today.
終わりにしなきゃいけないのよ。
It has to.
このままじゃ、あんたはずっと罪の意識に苛まれて、最後には押しつぶされちゃう。
Because if it doesn't, the guilt is going to keep eating away at you. And in the end, it will crush you.
同じだ。
It's the same.
どういうこと？
What do you mean?
どっちにしても結局俺はずっと後悔するんだ。
In the end, no matter which choice I make, I regret it.
マユリを救えなかったこと、お前を救えなかったこと、
Not being able to save you. Not being able to save me, Yuri.
アルファ世界線にいてもベータ世界線にいてもそれは変わらない。
It doesn't matter whether I'm in the Alpha World line or the Beta World line. So maybe I should just stay here.
しっかりしなさい、岡部倫太郎。
Get a hold of yourself, Okabe Ritsuro.
クリス、
Kurisu,
なんて顔してるのよ。あんたらしくない。
snap out of it. This isn't like you.
私の好きな法王院京馬さんはもっと自信に満ちた顔してなきゃ。
The Hoin Kiyoma I love is always more confident. Ah, there we are. So both Mayuri and Kurisu love Hoin Kiyoma. Figures. The crazy character is the one that they both like. To be fair, I'm the one who likes Genocide Show, so why am I surprised? Hoin Kiyoma, huh? That was a name I hadn't heard in a long time.
あんたは正しい道を選択したの。マユリを助けるっていう選択を、それは決して間違ってない。
You made the right choice. You chose to save Miyuri, and you weren't wrong.
でも俺はお前を。
But I let you.
いい？今あんたがここにいるのは、そうね、夢を見ているだけよ。
Listen, what you're seeing right now is... it's a dream, that's all.
夢？
A dream?
そう、夢の中であんたは私に会った。ただそれだけのこと。
That's right. You had a dream where you met me. That's all. Okay, Queen, fine. I'll take my rebuke from the comments. I'll take my rebuke.
そう思えば少しは気も楽でしょ。
Well, doesn't that make you feel a little better? Makase sighed a little and laughed.
これだけ脳の研究が進んでいるのに、夢を見るメカニズムって実はまだ明確にはなっていないのよね。
We've learned so much about how the brain works, but we still don't understand the mechanisms by which we dream.
眠っている間に脳内では記憶の整理が行われている。その過程で発生するのが夢だっていう説もあるけど。
The brain organizes and processes memories during sleep. One theory says that the dreams are the result of that process.
要するに ここはベータ世界線のあんたが迷い込んだ夢の中の世界。あんたの頭の中を整理するためにね。
In other words, this is a dream world being experienced by you in the beta world line, so you can get your head together, you know?
そしてこれが夢ならいつかは目を覚まさなきゃならない。そうでしょ。
And if it's a dream, you have to wake up someday. Am I wrong?
でもこれは夢なんかじゃない。現にこうして。
But this isn't a dream! You're right! I reached out and touched her cheek.
現にこうしてお前はここにいるじゃないか。
You're right here, aren't you?
感触だって脳が感じさせている機能の一つよ。
Touch sensations are just another of the brain's functions. She took a quick step back. The sensation of her cheek disappeared from my
だい
fingers.
たいここにいてもあんたは幸せにはなれない。ずっと後悔の念を拭うことはできないの。
You won't be happy here anyway. You'll never be rid of the regret.
そしてそれは私も同じ。
And neither will I.
ベータ世界線でも変わらない。
That doesn't change in the beta world line either.
俺はずっとお前を助けられなかったことを悔やみながら生きてきた。
I've done nothing but regret that I couldn't save
だ
you.
けど少なくともマユリは幸せでいられるでしょ。
But Miyuri's happy at least, isn't she?
マユリは
Miyuri is not happy at all. She doesn't know anything, because that's what I wanted. I wanted her to know nothing and be happy. For now, that wish was still coming true, but
あんたはマユリに笑っててほしい。そう願ってる。
you want Miyuri to be happy.
私も同じなの。
So do I. I'm the same way.
The fact that she's mentioned having a dream and waking up, so it's going to help him get his head together in the beta world line. If you remember the ending I unlocked, where Suzuha and Mayuri went back into the past, I wonder if this is the second piece of the puzzle in order to complete that mission. I wonder if that's what I've done here. Or at least triggered a route to it, if you know what I mean.
ということはやっぱりあんたの選択は間違ってはなかったってことよ。
Which means that you made the right choice after all. I'd finally met her again, but she was here, alive, right in front of me, but...
もう
Oh, come on! She walked up to me without even trying to hide her
いい
frustration.
加減にしなさい岡部倫太郎。
Stop this nonsense already, Akabe Rintaro.
一度出した結論でしょうがあんたはここにいちゃいけないの。帰らなきゃいけない。
You already reached your conclusion. You can't stay here. You have to go back.
夢から覚めなきゃいけないのよ。
You have to wake up from the dream.
だってもう
Because I...
そうやって苦しむあんたを見ていたくないから。
I don't want to see you suffer like this anymore.
クリス
Kurisu.
さあこれ以上は時間の無駄よ。私はやるから。
Come on. This is a waste of time. I'm doing it. She turned away from me. I could feel the strength of her will. Her resolve. I remembered what I'd seen just after I'd come to this world line. Makase had just been standing there, in front of the foam wave. Thinking back, she'd probably already made her decision. Without anyone knowing. Without anyone to say goodbye to. She'd chosen to go to a world where she would no longer exist. It had probably taken her a long time and a lot of struggle to come to that decision. She'd probably asked herself 1,000 times if it was really the right answer. If this was what she'd chosen after all that, I didn't have the right to stop her. It would be wrong.
ねえ岡部、夢から覚める前に一つ約束して。
Hey, Okabe, before you wake up, promise me something.
約束？
What?
ベータ世界線に行ったら私のことは忘れなさい。
When you get to the Beta World Line, forget about me. That was just the opposite of what she'd said that day. That day, the day when I'd chosen the Beta World Line, she'd said to me, "Don't forget me." But now she was asking for the opposite.
忘れるなんて、そんなことできるわけないだろう。
Forget you? You know I can't do that! She was always like that. She always cared more about others than herself. She always sacrificed herself. She was asking me this for my sake only. She didn't want to be forgotten. She hated being forgotten more than anyone else could.
言ったでしょ、これは夢よ。夢は普通起きたら忘れるもんでしょ。
Remember what I said. This is a dream. Once you wake up from a dream, you forget what happened, right? She was stubborn and bullheaded. I would never be able to forget her. But
子供の頃に見た悪夢は今でも覚えてるぞ。
I still remember the nightmares I had when I was a little kid.
誰が悪夢な？誰が？
Who are you calling a nightmare? It was all I could do to keep from breaking down. But that was probably the same for her.
とにかく私のことは忘れること。今日あったこともこれまであったことも。
Anyway, forget about me. Forget about what happened today and everything that came before.
それが私の望みだから。
That's what I want. She turned around and stuck out her pinky finger. She forced it around mine.
指切り玄満。嘘ついたら海馬に電極ぶっ刺す。指切った。
It's a pinky promise. Lie and I'll stab an electrode into your hippocampus. Got it? That's a typical Makise insult, isn't it? No, I'll stick one into your eye, or no, I'll go straight for your hippocampus and I will lobotomize you. And Akabe's like,
随分と語呂が悪いな。
that doesn't rhyme at all.
ほっとけ。
Shut up. Her hand moved away from mine. Her gaze looked away from me. It was almost time to say goodbye. She was sending a message to the past. I knew it was the right thing to do. I knew this was what she wanted. But still,
クリス、
I'm not going to bother trying to say both lines together. Our voices overlapped.
どうした？
What is it?
あんたこそ何？
You first.
なんでもない。ただ呼んでみただけだ。
It's nothing. I just wanted to say it out loud. The name of the person I cared for.
偶然ね。私も同じ。
What a coincidence. So did I. The name of the person I loved.
ねえ、あんたは覚えてる？私と初めて会った時のこと。
Hey, do you remember when we first met? Yeah, accidentally caused you to get a knife in your chest. I'm sorry?
忘れられるわけがない。何しろ強烈だったからな。
Of course I do. You made a hell of a first impression.
それを言うならあんたの方こそ。
So did you.
あんた、あの時はまさかこんな風になるなんて思ってもみなかったわ。
Really? I never thought things would end up like
ま
this.
さかあんな出会いでこんなにも。
I never thought that encounter would lead to someone meeting someone so important to me. Not that I'd say it now.
まったくだな。
That's right. I couldn't say it, but...
でも言っとくけど、私たちの出会いも覚えてていいのは今のうちだからな。
But just so you know, you're only allowed to remember our meeting right now. Even for a little.
世界線が戻ったら忘れなきゃいけないんだからな。
Once the world line goes back, you have to forget. Even for just a second.
分かってるよ。
I know. Just for an instant.
そんなに簡単に忘れられるんだ。
So you're just going to forget me? Just like that? If it would last a little
お
longer.
前が言い出したことだろ。
This was your idea. Her voice.
そうだけど、そんな風にあっさり言われちゃうと、それはそれでムカつく。
That's true, but it still pisses me off to hear you just say it like it was nothing. The way she moved.
忘れろと言ったり、忘れるなと言ったり、一体どっちなんだ？
First you want me to forget, then you want me to not forget. Which is it? Her smile.
冗談。嘘よ。嘘。
It's a joke. I'm just kidding.
なんだ？嘘なのか？
Oh. It's a joke?
そう。嘘。
Yeah. Just a joke. Just a little longer. So that I could remember it all. But I was out of time.
岡部、
Okay, babe. Huh?
それじゃあ。
Bye. Those words were the sign that the magic was over. Yeah. There were a million things I wanted to say, but I stopped myself. Makise smiled, satisfied, and turned back toward the phone wave. She probably already had the message ready. The phone wave started to boom and crackle like thunder. There was a long, long countdown. The whole time, Makise faced away from me. And I just watched. The noise grew louder. The countdown continued. And then... it was time.
岡部、
Okay, babe.
いい、目覚めよ。
It's time to wake up. Makise turned around with a big smile on her face. Her voice was cut off by the roar. And here we go, back to 1 point whatever. 1.053649. And then I woke up from my short dream. Colour gradually returned to my blacked out vision. The lab started to come back into focus. I could tell immediately that the world line had changed. I could still see Makise when I closed my eyes, but she wasn't in the development room anymore. It was like the whole thing had been a daydream. I felt like I'd been caught in the boundary between dreaming and wakefulness. I was back. Back to a world without Makise. This wasn't the Alpha world line. There was no point in even bothering to check. A moment ago, only Makise and I had been in this room, and now everyone was here.
おかり、どうしたの？具合悪い？
Oh, Karine, what's wrong? Are you sick?
いや、大丈夫だ。
No, I'm fine. Now, was Fubuki in the room? Is the key question, because if she was, what did Fubuki remember? That's my question. Miyuri.
お薬飲みますか？
What's the medicine?
平気だよ。心配ない。
I'm fine. No need to worry. Lukaku. And
本当に無理しちゃダメだよ。
really, you shouldn't push yourself. Shina Kagari. If Mayuri and Kagari were here, that meant I was back to the beta world
ちょっ
line.
と腹が減っただけだ。朝から何も食べてなくてな。
I'm just a little hungry. I haven't eaten anything all day.
もうオカリンさんたらダメだよ。ちゃんとご飯は食べなきゃ。ダルおじさんみたいに大きくなれないよ。
Come on, Ocarine. You need to eat, or you won't get big like Uncle Daru. Is that a new life goal for Akabe? That's new to me.
ああなるくらいなら一食抜いた方がマシだよ。
I'd rather skip a meal than end up like him. Huh?
だったらマユシーが何か作ってあげるよ。
Okay, Mayushi will make something then.
ママが作れるの？
You will, Mommy? Can you? Why is Kagari calling Mayushi Mommy directly to her face?
もうかがりちゃんまでそういうこと言うんだから。
Oh, Kagari, not you too.
これでもね、最近はユキさんにお料理教えてもらってるんだよ。
Yuki's been teaching me things lately.
じゃあ僕が手伝うから。
Okay, then I'll help too.
待ってくれ。
Wait,
すみません。僕手伝わない方がいいですか？
huh? Sorry, should I not help?
いや、そうじゃない。そうじゃないんだ。
No, that's not it. That's not it at all. I looked around at everyone, and then back at Kagari.
かがりさん。
Miss Shina.
やだな、オカリンさん。私のことはかがりでいいって言ってるのに。
Ocarine, I said you could just call me Kagari. Something was different.
じゃあかがり。さっきまゆりのことをなんて呼んでたか聞いてもいいか？
Okay, Kagari, can I ask what you were calling Miyuri?
なんてってママだよ。
Huh? I called her Mommy.
どうして？
Why?
どうしても何もママはママだもんね、ママ。
Why? Because she's my mommy, right, Mommy?
やっぱりそう呼ばれるのちょっと照れちゃうな。
It's kind of embarrassing to hear that. Yeah, looks like I found a way to join the worlds here because they wanted to keep that out of the loop, to my knowledge, wasn't it? I felt vaguely dizzy watching Miyuri fidget in
知っ
embarrassment.
てるのか？二人とも未来の世界で親子だってことを。
Then the two of you know that you're mother and daughter in the future?
かがりちゃんのことはオカリンが教えてくれたんだよ。
Huh? You're the one who told me about her.
俺が？
I did?
本当のことを知っておいた方がいいってね。
That's right. You said it would be better to know the truth, right?
ね
Yep. Did I really tell them? Did I tell them something so important?
じゃあもしかしてルカ子も？
Then does Lukaku also?
ごめんなさい。僕聞くつもりはなかったんですけど耳に入ってしまって。
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to listen in, but I heard it anyway. Lukaku lowered his head in apology.
あ、でも大丈夫です。他の人には言ってませんし、それに
Oh, but don't worry. I haven't told anyone, and
僕ちょっとだけ嬉しかったんです。皆さんと秘密を共有できて。
Being able to share in everyone's secrets kind of made me happy.
本当は直接教えてもらえればよかったんですけど。
I would have been happier if you told me directly, but...
Even Lukaku knew about Mayuri and Kagari. Which meant that, of course...
でも驚きました。タイムマシンとか未来とかお話の世界のものだって思ってたんですけど、実現できるなんて。
Still, I was really surprised. I thought that the time machine was only fiction. I had no idea you could make it real.
He knew about the time machine. Evidently, I hadn't simply come straight back from the Alpha world line. I was in a world line slightly different from the one I'd been in before. The divergence meter I'd used before was gone now. That meant I didn't have a precise number, but this all felt very different. The problem was finding out what was the same as the old world line and what was different.
かがり、もう少し質問させてほしい。
Kagari, can I ask some more questions?
何？
What is it?
I showered Kagari with questions in an effort to find out what was going on. Here's what I learned. First, Kagari retained memories of her childhood. In other words, of the year 2036. She knew Miyuri, Daru, Suzuha, and also Faris and Lukaku. But as for what of World 2036 was like, and how she'd become Mayuri's daughter, she hadn't told them the details about that. Fortunately, they hadn't seemed interested in knowing about their futures. Everyone always thinks that they want to know what their future holds, but when the chance finally comes, fear outweighs your curiosity. The future wasn't always a happy thing. Knowing the future might destroy your dreams. It might be a death sentence, like it was for me. Some people will lose all sense of meaning in their lives if they knew there was inevitably going to be a war in which 5 billion people died.
それじゃあここに来たのはルカ子の家に居候したのがきっかけで間違いないな。
Then it was definitely your staying at Lukaku's that brought you here, right?
っていうか、オカリンさんがママと引き合わせてくれたんだよ。覚えてないの？
Yep, and it was you who brought Mom and me together. Oh, Kareen, don't you remember?
いや、そういうわけじゃないんだが、一応確かめておこうと思ってな。
Right. I just thought I'd double check, you know.
一応ね。変なオカリンさん。
Double check, huh? You're acting weird, oh, Kareen.
Kagari going missing had happened almost exactly as I remembered it. The same was true of how she came to us. And
行方不明になっていた間はどこで何をしていたのか全然覚えていないのか。
you don't remember anything about what you were doing while you were missing.
綺麗さっぱり。気づいたらお寺で寝かされてた。
Nope, not a thing. The first thing I can remember is lying on a bed in the temple.
She was still missing some of her memories too. In other words, in this world line, the only memories she had were of her childhood, and of the last few weeks since she'd woken up in the Chiba Mountains. And I still can't access my phone, it won't let me do it. The most important part was still missing. Was there anything else I needed to ask? I was staring at the floor, trying to think, when I realized that something was missing.
床が綺麗だ。
The floor is clean.
さっき岡部さんが来る前に掃除しておきました。
Oh, I cleaned it before you came.
いや、そうじゃなくて床に小さな穴が開いてたはずなんだが。
No, that's not it. Wasn't there a little hole in the floor?
床に穴ですか？
A hole in the floor?
The lab had been attacked just last night. During the attack, one of their bullets had left a dark hole in the floor.
穴なんて開いてたかな？なかったと思うけど。
Was there a hole there? I don't think so.
ちなみにお前たち昨日はどうだった？
By the way, how was yesterday?
昨日のパーティーのことすっごく楽しかったよ。
The party? It was a lot of fun.
あんなに楽しかったの私初めてだった。
I've never had so much fun in my life. They wanted to say that if there had been an attack. Yep, so evidently something else has changed. And the question is, if it's Makise's D-mail that sent them back here, what did she change that allowed them to shift back to the beta world line and eradicate the attack? There's still something going on here, but as I say, I can't access my phone to ask any questions. Which meant that the attack had never taken place. Does that mean it's going to take place tonight? Because that's what happened in the original game, it deferred it by 24 hours. Was no one after Kagami in this world? No. It was too early to assume that. I still didn't know what had happened when she'd gone missing. Until I did, I couldn't say for sure if she was safe. Just like how sometimes Mayuri's death would occur on different days in the Alpha World line, the same thing might happen a few days later. In fact, it would be better to be cautious.
またみんなでパーティーしたいね。
I hope we can all have another party again soon.
その時は僕も何か作るよ。
When we do, I'll make something.
私も手伝う。
Me too, I'll help. They all started happily talking about last night's party. At first glance, it was a peaceful scene. But something sinister might be happening, and I just didn't know it. No, I knew something had to be happening. The fact that the world line was changing was proof. Why had it changed, anyway? I thought back to the events of that night. First, someone had taken over Amadeus. Makise had called me and asked for help. The world line had changed right after I answered, which meant that the key was Amadeus? Did Amadeus have something to do with the world line change? And what about the group who'd attacked Kagari? Was it all connected? Maybe I needed to find out.
ところでかがりちゃん、時間大丈夫？
By the way, Kagari, are you okay on time?
いっけない。休憩時間終わってた。店長に怒られちゃう。
She's still employed downstairs. Oh no! Break time's over! The owner is going to get mad at me!
店長ということはバイトしてるのか？
The owner? Do you have a job?
そうだよ。下のブラウン管工房で。ってこの前言ったじゃん。
That's right. I'm working at the Brawn workshop downstairs. Wait, I already told you this.
Well, that's what she called it, Queen, but I'm not so sure because things have changed, so there must have been a world line change. It can't just be a dream. Lucid dreams are quite well known, but at the same time too much has been altered. So unless he was dreaming when the attack happened, there's been a change. Somewhere, somehow.
そうだったか。
I see. In the old world line, Kagari started working for Tennoji after the attack. That was another difference.
もう今日のオカリンさんはボケボケだね。しっかりしてよ。
Jeez, you're out of it. So out of it today. Get a hold of yourself.
すまない。
Sorry. Kagari hopped up and skipped out of the room. Her words and mannerisms were much more childish than they'd been in the last world line.
頑張ってね。
Work hard, okay?
それじゃ行ってきます。
Okay, bye.
かがり戻る前にもう一つだけ聞かせてくれ。
Kagari, let me ask one more thing before you go. I asked one final question to Kagari, who was now giving a crisp salute.
アマデウスという言葉を聞いて何か思い当たることはないか？
Does the word Amadeus mean anything to you?
アマデウス？
Amadeus?
Kagari seemed to think for a moment.
ね。ごめん、わかんないや。
Nope, nothing.
そうか。
I see. She didn't look like she was lying or being sarcastic. She must really not have known. I watched her leave the lab, then took out my phone. There was another thing I needed to check. What was happening with Amadeus? There's no app. Moment she said that she didn't know what Amadeus was. I looked for the icon on my screen. Amadeus. The AI that held Makise Kurisu's personality and memories. And the application which started the program. But the program was gone.
悪かったな。こんなところに呼び出して。
Sorry to call you out here.
別に構わないわ。ちょうど近くまで来てたから。
It's fine. I just happened to be nearby. After seeing the icon missing on my phone, I contacted Maho immediately. My goal, of course, was to see what was going on with Amadeus in this world. I had to find out.
で、話って？
So what did you want to talk about? Was the demail that Makise would not dump her memory onto Amadeus? Wouldn't that completely break the world line? If that's the case, that doesn't seem likely. But if that's what's happened, I'm curious as to how they explain it.
アマデウスのことだ。
It's about Amadeus. What? Maho's eyes suddenly went wide. Her reaction surprised me as well. I'd simply said the word Amadeus.
あなた、どうして知ってるの？
How do you know?
どうしてって。どういうことだ？
What do you mean?
どうしてあなたがアマデウスのことを知ってるのよ？
How do you know about Amadeus?
だってあのプロジェクトは去年の夏クリスの事件があったあの後に凍結されたのよ。
That program was put on hold last summer after Makise's death.
凍結された？アマデウスが？
Amadeus was put on hold.
凍結ってことはつまりプロジェクト自体打ち切られたってことか？
You mean the project itself was shut down?
はっきり言ってしまえばそういうことね。
Yeah, that's right. She clenched her fists in anger. It seemed the change in this world line was a big one.
で、さっきの質問。どうしてあなたがアマデウスのことを知ってるの？
Now answer my question. How did you know about Amadeus?
それは
Because... Should I tell her about the world lines and attractor field theory?
クリスから聞いたんだよ。大学の先輩がそういう研究をしてるって。
Makise told me that someone at her lab was doing work on it.
クリスが？あの子、あなたにそんな話までしていたのね。
Makise told you about that? I decided that it wasn't the time to tell her. If I tried to explain everything, I'd have to tell her about D-Mail and the time machine. Maho didn't seem to know about all that yet. I could imagine what she'd do if she heard the truth. She was yet another of those people who were entranced by the possibilities of science.
なあ、アマデウスが凍結されたっていう話、もう少し詳しく教えてくれないか？理由は何だったんだ？
Can you tell me a little more about the project and why it was shut down?
なんでも外部団体からクレームが入ったんですって。
Evidently, there was a complaint from an outside group.
人の記憶を人工知能に持たせるのは人間の複製を作り出すのと同じこと。神のみに許される所業だって。
Creating an artificial intelligence with human memories is no different than making a copy of the human, they say. It's something that only God is allowed to do. Yeah, because we don't have your science fiction AI down in these parts. Only the good Lord decides who has free will and memories, and don't you be messing with the good book, you silly like a communist. Or something like that. I imagine that was probably how the complaint was written as well, and they spent the last 20 days trying to decode it. But there with magnifying glasses typing words into Google for phonetic translation. I'm not exaggerating. That's probably what happened.
欧米って 自分たちの価値観で物を言う人が多いのよね。特にそういうデリケートな部分は。
A lot of people in Europe and America like to push their own values on others, especially in delicate matters like these.
And to be fair, she would be correct. Britain has a very imperialistic past. We were very much about pushing our values on others, to our eternal shame. Don't want to say too much about that.
理由はそれだけなのか？
Is that the only reason?
ええ、少なくとも私はそう聞いてるわ。いきなり研究は中止だって言われて、教授たちも随分怒ってた。
Yep, at least as far as I've heard. The professor and the rest of the team were really mad when they heard the research was being shut down.
The Amadeus program was stopped, and that's a quick save, so I'm going to quickly put this one in. We're still on animatomic duel. So what's the message online then?
Okabe, there's something I want you to tell me.
Oh. Oh, for fuck's sake. Right. Shouldn't you ask your dad? You okay with asking me or ask Mayuri? Well, the Kako has a secret infatuation with the Kabe, so I'm going to go with the middle option here. You okay with asking me?
Yes, I think you'd give me good advice.
I don't want you expecting too much.
What kind of gift do you think a father would enjoy?
Your father, huh? I think the darkness within him goes very deep.
Huh? The darkness?
Oh, you know, darkness. Black. A black handkerchief? Maybe that would be a good idea. Maybe, yeah.
A handkerchief? Great, I'll do that. But why black?
I think your dad probably likes black. And he's even brought Best Girl out for real. Oh dear.
Thank you.
Now that is corny but cute.
Thank you, Okabe.
You might regret that later. Yeah, it seems I've still got the same contacts as before. Did that have something to do with the world line change too? Wait. So how did I meet Maho? We'd originally met at the Amadeus seminar. If that never happened...
どうしたの？
What's wrong?
いや、その思い出してたんだ。君と出会った時のことを。
Oh, I was just remembering how we met.
ああ、あの時のこと。ああいう偶然ってあるのね。
Oh, yeah. That was quite the coincidence, wasn't it?
I asked a few more questions, taking care not to arouse her suspicions, and managed to learn the basic story. Maho had really wanted to see the place where Makise had died. When she finally went to the radio building, she'd run into me.
オカルト的な考え方って大っ嫌いだけど、でもあなたと出会えたのはクリスが繋いでくれた縁なのかもしれないわね。
I hate to say this, because it sounds so unscientific, but I like to think that it was karma, and that Makise brought the two of us together.
Karma. Or perhaps another example of attractor field convergence. It had already been decided that Maho and I would meet here in Akihabara. But was there some meaning in that?
そうそう。まゆりさんたちによろしく伝えておいてくれるかしら。昨日は楽しかったって。
Oh, right. Tell Mayuri and the others I said hi, and that last night was a lot of fun.
ああ、
Sure. Evidently she'd gone to last night's party in this world
お
line
かげ
too.
で日本でのいい思い出ができたわ。
It's given me some good memories of Japan.
思い出って帰るのか？
Good memories. You're leaving?
すぐにじゃないけどね。言ったでしょ？私今クリスがやっていた研究を引き継いでるの。
Not immediately. Remember what I said? I'm taking over Makise's
い
research.
つまでも日本でバカンス気分を堪能してるわけにもいかないのよ。
I can't stay on vacation in Japan forever.
そうか。
I see. But still, she was only in Japan for another 10 days. I hope nothing would happen during that time. Foreshadowing. Foreshadowing. Foreshadowing.
Amadeus had been shut down and no longer existed. No longer would I hear Makise's voice. After I said goodbye to Maho, what that meant really started to sink in. I could still feel Makise's warmth in my chest, her smell. All the feelings I tried to forget were coming back now that I'd seen her. No one will ever be happy in that world line. Everyone will be miserable. That's what she had said. I knew that. That's why I decided to stay here. But that didn't mean I could erase the sense of loss I'd felt. I went back to the lab to get all this together in my head. The cause of the attack in the last world line was Kagari, and there was a good chance that Amadeus was involved in the world line change that took place afterward. But in this world line, the lab had never been attacked, and the Amadeus project had been cancelled while it was still in the research phase. That meant that two major factors in the events that had occurred so far no longer existed. If they were gone, maybe there was no need to worry too much. But even so, there was still a tiny alarm going off in the back of my mind. Why had Amadeus been shut down? What happened to Kagari's missing memories? If nothing else, I might need to learn the answers to those two questions. I thought for a while. Then took out my phone and booted up the Line application. Huh? Oh, now we've shifted to Kagare. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. Shina Kagari felt happier and more fulfilled than the people around her thought she was. Her memories were missing. All she had now were memories of when she was young. She'd gone to the past when she was 10, then gotten separated from Suzuha. Her memories afterward were a total blank, with the exception of the last few weeks. Her oldest memories, after her childhood, were of the ceiling she saw when she woke up. It was the ceiling of an old temple, with stains here and there, all like faces. She remembered being a little scared. Shortly after that, she was given to Yanabayashi Shrine.
Kagari-san, お茶飲みますか?
Kagari, would you like some tea?
ありがとう、ルカ君。
Oh, yeah, thanks, Luca.
じゃあ、入れますね。
Okay, I'll put some on. That was when she'd met Urishibara Luca. At the time, she hadn't realised that she already knew him. Urishibara Luca was a good friend of her adopted mother, Shina Mayuri. He'd played with her a lot when they were kids. When she was younger, she'd always thought he was a woman. To Kagari's young eyes, he'd been a strong, grown-up woman. At the time, she'd always wondered why Suzuha had called him Big Brother Luca.
はい、どうぞ。
Here you are.
ありがとう。
Thank you. But the Luca in front of her now was far younger than the one she had known. He looked like a very pretty girl, and not nearly as strong. So she'd only realised that he was the Urishibara Luca she knew after meeting her mother.
この紅茶、なんだか変わった味がする。
This tea tastes a little different.
ローズマリーティー。集中力や記憶力が上がるって聞いて、フェイリスさんに分けてもらったんです。
It's rosemary tea. It's supposed to help you concentrate and improve your memory. I had Ferris give me some. Improving your memory and finding lost memories seemed like totally different things to her, but she didn't say so. Just the thought made her very happy. Luca, Mama Miyuri, and the rest of Akabe's friends were all trying to help her get her memories back. It would probably make most people nervous, not having their memories. It would be hard, not knowing what you'd experienced. But to be honest, Kagari didn't think she needed to remember. Sometimes it seemed like a memory was about to come back. Each time, her mind would roar with a sense of fear and anxiety.
もしかして、美味しくなかったですか?
Was it not very good? Luca saw that she'd only taken a sip and stopped, and he seemed worried.
そんなことない。美味しいよ。
Oh, no, that's not true. It's good.
ただ、ちょっと考え事をしてただけ。
I was just thinking.
考え事？
Thinking?
そう。でも、大したことないんだ。
Yep, but it's nothing. She took a sip at the tea, hoping to change the subject.
それにしても、ルカ君って本当に男の子？
Anyway, Luca, are you really a boy? Everyone else said he was, but still, it just didn't seem right to her.
そうですけど。
I am, yeah.
やっぱりどう見ても女の子にしか見えないよね。
You really look more like a girl, though.
そんなこと言われても。
I don't know what to say to that.
そうだ。ねえ、明日一緒にお風呂入ってみる？
I know. Hey, why don't we take a bath tomorrow? Song of Memories, get out of my stream. We're not having bath time. It's not happening. What?
そうすれば、ルカ君が本当に男の子なのかどうかわかるでしょ？
Then I'll know if you're really a boy or not.
ダメですよ、そんなの。
No, we can't.
どうして？
Why not?
だってそんなのだって女の人と一緒にお風呂なんてそんな。
But because I can't take a bath with a girl.
お姉さんとは一緒に入ってなかったの？
Did you take baths with your sister?
入ってましたけど、それは小さい頃の話で。
Yes, but that's when I was little.
かがりさん？
Kagari?
ごめんごめん。冗談だよ、冗談。ルカ君が可愛いからついからかっちゃった。
Sorry. It was just a joke. You're so cute. I felt like I had to tease you.
そんな。
Oh.
でもそういう反応を見せるってことはやっぱり男の子なんだね。
But if you responded that way, it means you really are a boy.
最初からそうだって言ってるじゃないですか。
That's what I've been saying. Even when he was upset, he still looked like a girl, she thought.
ご覧のようにこちらのお店では数十種類にも及ぶ食べ物が全部食べ放題なんです。
Yep, Kagari is mean. She's very mean. You're not wrong, Queen. I'm a rapper and I didn't know it. As you can see, there are dozens of different dishes available, and they're all you can eat! The TV screen had been showing all kinds of delicious food.
すごいなあ。
Wow! The sight of it almost moved her to tears.
今の時代ってすごいよね。私の知ってる未来とは大違い。
This time is so wonderful. It's so different than the world I know.
そうなんですか？未来の世界ってどんな感じなんです？
Is it? What's the future like?
知りたい？
Do you want to know? Luca looked a little uncertain. And even though she'd asked, Kagari wasn't certain she should tell him. The future she knew was filled with despair. Where's Monokuma and Junko when I need them? Everyone struggled desperately to stay alive, hoping that tomorrow would somehow be better. If they knew there was no hope, how would they survive? Yeah, the devs of this game definitely played Danganronpa, and the devs of Danganronpa definitely played this game. There's far too many cross-references. Way too many. As I say, Kaede who plays piano. Come on, Kadaka. Just admit that you're a fan of Steins Gate.
やっぱりやめておきます。
I don't think I do. Kagari sighed in relief.
その方がいいよ。だって未来は変えられるものだから。
You're better off that way. The future can be changed.
未来は変えられる？
The future can be changed?
ママがね、そう言ってた。きっと変えられる。変えてくれるって。
Yeah, that's what Mom said. She said it could be changed. She said he'd change it.
変えてくれる？
He'd change it. That's what Mayuri had always told Kagari. That was her tiny light of hope.
なんだっけな。シュタインなんとかって。
What was it? Steins... what?
シュタインズゲートですか？
Steins Gate?
そう、それは必ずあるってママは言ってた。
Yeah, that's it. Mommy said she knew it was real.
って言いながら、それが何なのか私もよくわからないんだけど。
But I don't really know what it is. Steins Gate. To be honest, Kagari didn't know exactly what that meant. But each time Mayuri said it, Kagari had felt warmth in her heart. Someone would come to lead them to Steins Gate. When she thought about that, it gave her hope.
さて、それでは次の特集です。
And now for our next report!
今、世界で記憶の再生技術に関する研究が進められているのはご存知でしょうか？
Did you know that memory restoration technology is being studied around the globe?
今日はその最先端を走るあるアメリカの大学の特集です。
Today we have a special report on an American university that's at the cutting edge of this research. Yep, we know which university that is, don't we? Dr. Leskinen's crew. They're still here, people. They're still here. The news show had finished its food report and had already switched to another topic. Now it was showing a college campus covered in greenery. It was a wide open space that clearly wasn't Japanese. The second she saw it, she suddenly felt dizzy.
こちらはビクトル・コンドリア大学。一見普通のキャンパスに見えるこの大学。
This is Victor Kandria University. It may seem like just another college
し
campus.
かし、この学内では今、ある大きなプロジェクトが進められています。
But there's a major project going on here right now. The discussion became more technical. It was far beyond what Kagari, who had only her memories as a child, could understand. But
チャンネル変えましょうか。
should I change the channel?
待って。
Oh, wait! Kagari stopped him before he could get to the remote.
かがりさん、わかるんですか？
Kagari, do you understand this?
脳の構造、記憶を捏造することはできるかっていう話。
Yeah, they're talking about how the brain works and whether you can make false memories.
すごいですね。僕には難しくて何が何だか。
Wow, that's amazing. It was too complicated for me. She suddenly found herself easily understanding what was being said. Why? How? How could she understand this?
そう？そんなに難しい話じゃないよ。
Yeah, it's not that complicated.
記憶は脳の中の海馬っていうところが司ってるんだけど、その中に視上界って呼ばれるところがあるのね。
Has Kagari's memory suddenly had things implanted by Makise, I wonder? Because this seems the kind of alley she'd be talking about. Memories are controlled by a part of the brain called the hippocampus, and there's a special part of the hippocampus called the fascia dentata. Go on then, let's get what this is. So we got the gyrus dentatas, granule-shaped cells found near the hippocampal gyrus. Anatomy treats them as distinct from the hippocampus, but the field of neurology often uses the term hippocampus to refer to both of them. Recent research revealed that neurogenesis occurring in the gyrus dentatus plays an important role in forgetting things. And then of course the microwave. The cooking appliances that heats the moisture in food using microwaves are originally called radaranges. Radar, in this case, referred to electromagnetic waves. Microwaves were invented when communications radar technicians realised that EM waves could warm food. Research was done on the process after that, and in 1947 they were sold to the public in America. Microwave ovens use waves in the 2.45 gigahertz frequency range, with home units having an output between 500 to 1000 watts, and commercial ovens between 1500 to 2000 watts. This frequency range is called the ISM band and is the same one used by wireless internet. So never put your router in your kitchen because you will have serious connectivity problems. She was surprised at what she was saying, but the words kept coming anyway.
そこで行われる神経細胞の生産が既存の神経回路の再編を引き起こすの。それによって記憶の忘却が誘発されるんだ。
When new nerve cells are constructed there, they cause existing neurological pathways to reorganize. That's what makes you forget things.
で、この研究チームがマウス実験をしてみたら、記憶の捏造が見られたっていう話。
And so when this study team did experiments on mice, they saw false memories created.
あ、ほら、あの奥の部屋、あそこでマウス実験なんかをしてるの。
Oh, look, that room in the back, that's where they do the mice experiments and stuff.
かがりさん、もしかしてこの大学知ってるんですか？
Kagari, are you familiar with this university? Huh? She suddenly realized that Luca was looking confused.
だってなんだか詳しそうな口ぶりでしたし。
I mean, you seem to know a lot about it. The TV was showing something that looked like a lab. The camera went toward the back of the room. A white door was open that led to the next room.
この部屋で行われたマウスを使った実験、それによって研究チームは
Yep, she's just read the news before the news has been broadcast. After seeing the results of experiments on mice performed here, the research team...
知らない。
No, I don't.
でも今
But just now. That's right. She wasn't familiar with it. She didn't know anything about any place like this. But...
わからない。知らない。けど
I don't know. I don't know, but...
なんでだろう。さっきは知ってるような気がしたの。
For some reason, it suddenly feels like I do. There was suddenly a piercing pain in the back of her head. It felt like the beginning of something terrifying. She suddenly felt very nervous. And well, after an unexpected reunion on another world line, we now have one of our travellers from the future seemingly having a connection to somewhere they're not supposed to. Just what changes were brought about by that D-mail, and exactly what conclusion will they lead us to? Hopefully we're going to find out in 2 nights' time on the 29th of December when I'm going to be back for another part of this epic playthrough of this very confusing, very interesting time travel extravaganza. And of course, it's going to be pre-New Year, so hopefully we'll be able to go a little longer like we have tonight, maybe even longer still. But until then, I've been Swishbone, you've all been amazing. Thank you all very, very much for watching. And good night.